I open an internet cafe in Naruto. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1. I open an internet cafe in Konoha. In the prosperous Konoha village, the main road is full of traffic and people. With such a large flow of people, the surrounding shops are naturally doing a booming business. However, where there is prosperity, there are naturally desolate places. Go straight along the main road, cross the famous weapon store way in Konoha, and then go a few miles to the right. You can see a deep alley. In this sparsely populated alley, there is a weird store called Internet Cafe. Hey, it's been 3 days, and there is not even a customer. If this goes on, I'm afraid I will become the first timer to starve to death. At the door of the store, a young man who looks a little ordinary is sitting on a chair and saying, "This person is the owner of this internet cafe, and he is also a time traveler." Liang, male, 18 years old, was originally a otaku on Earth, who was eating and waiting to die. After 2 days and 2 nights, he finally finished Mount & Blade 2 and traveled to the world of Naruto and directly activated his own cheat code, the internet cafe system. But to be honest, Liang, who is familiar with the settings of various online novels, thinks that he should travel to the world of Mount & Blade 2. Even if he travels to the world of Naruto, what is the situation of the internet cafe system? Shouldn't he turn on the cheat code that makes him stronger by cutting people? After complaining casually, Liang had no choice but to accept his fate. After turning on the internet cafe system, he had such a small internet cafe. This internet cafe is really small. There are only 3 computers and a cash register in it. Not to mention internet cafes, it is a bit insulting to call it a computer room. The whole environment is quite simple. But Liang has no choice. He dare not go out to solicit customers to make money to improve the environment. He has read the comics and animations of Naruto and knows that this world is not a safe world. Fortunately, this simple internet cafe is built by the system, and he is the owner of the internet cafe. As long as he is in the internet cafe, he is invincible. Even if Kaguya comes, she will kneel down and sing conquer for him. However, the only place where he is invincible is the internet cafe. Outside the internet cafe, he is just an ordinary person. If you want to become stronger, you can only rely on cheat codes. System task: recruit a guest to board the computer. Task reward: a computer game Jinyang's Heroes. Task time: unlimited. According to the general routine, this novice task is indeed a very simple task. You only need to recruit a guest, and then you can start the game Jinyang's Heroes. Liang is quite familiar with this game. This is a Chinese martial arts RPG game developed by Hello Studio and released in 1996. This game is adapted from the 14 martial arts novels written by Mr. Jinyang. Players can adventure with some of the characters in Jinyang's novels. The degree of freedom in the game is very high. Most of the characters, martial arts, items, and plot developments are very faithful to Jinyang's original works. For a martial arts enthusiast, this game is absolutely not to be missed. If you can start the game, then Liang can enter the game and obtain those martial arts secrets to provide for his own practice. That's right, playing games in this internet cafe can make you stronger. 3 days, you dog system. Do you know how I spent these 3 days? During the 3 days, it wasn't that no one came to ask what this internet cafe does. For such people who came to the door, Liang naturally used all his firepower to deceive them. Whenever a customer was deceived by him and wanted to try it, he would be scared away by the price of the internet cafe. The system stipulates that 1 hour of use costs 10,000 taels. You are robbing me. Not only passers-by think so, but even Liang thinks that the system is robbing me. According to Liang's understanding, the D-level mission in the Naruto world is only between 5,000 and 20,000 taels, and it has to be divided by the 4 people in the team. The captain takes half, and the remaining half is divided between the 3 ninjas in the team. The reward is not much at all. Not to mention that the people who came to the door in these 3 days were all ordinary people. They don't have as much money as the ninjas. Even if they are ninjas, they probably won't take out 10,000 teals to try the so-called game. Therefore, in 3 days, the internet cafe has not entertained a real customer. Fortunately, the internet cafe brought a week's worth of food, so Liang didn't starve to death. But if he couldn't attract any more customers, it would only be a matter of time before Liang starved to death. As for going to Konoha village to find a job without relying on the system and relying on himself, Liang himself had thought about it, but he gave up after thinking about it. Who said he was not from this world? In some small habits of life, there must be some differences compared to ordinary people here. Apart from anything else, his fair skin is not something that ordinary people have. In the Naruto world, only those who live in luxury or ninjas have such fair skin. As for other ordinary people, just think about it, a person with fair skin wandering around Konoha like an ordinary person looking for a job, just thinking about it is suspicious. Such obvious suspiciousness will definitely attract the questioning of the security department. Liang's identity was given by the system, and it must be able to withstand the investigation. But he himself could not withstand the investigation. As an ordinary person, Liang did not think he could withstand the scrutiny. Therefore, if he didn't want to be GG so quickly, he could only hide in the internet cafe and solicit customers at the door. Just thinking about the price of 10,000 teals per hour and some other rules, he seemed very painful. I don't know when I can complete my novice mission. Just as Liang looked up at the sky, he didn't notice that not far away, a beautiful girl with fair skin, blonde hair and blue eyes, wearing a purple tights, a ponytail down to her waist, a tuft of bangs covering her right eye, walked over. Hey, when did such a weird store open here? Hearing someone talking, Liang immediately stood up from his chair and habitually said, "This store is the first internet cafe in the entire ninja world, mainly for playing games." After saying that, Liang felt that the girl in front of him looked a little familiar. There was no way the two-dimensional paper man was transformed into a three-dimensional real person, and there would always be some minor adjustments in appearance. It was normal for Liang to not remember it for a while. The first internet cafe in the entire ninja world. Although I don't know what an internet cafe is, it feels very powerful. Yes, it is very powerful. Hearing the words of the beautiful girl, Liang went along with it and echoed it. "My little beauty, do you want to come in and play some games? You are the first customer of our store." The first. It looks pretty good. She nodded, thinking that she had nothing to do anyway, so it would be okay to try the games here. But when she entered the internet cafe and saw the small blackboard hanging on the wall, she angrily said, "Boss, are you lying to me because I'm a child?" As she spoke, she pointed at the small blackboard and continued, 10,000 teals an hour. What kind of crappy game is so expensive? Let me tell you, Yamanaka Ino, was not brought up to be scared. Don't try to scare me. After that, she started to walk out angrily, wanting to leave this unreliable place. Chapter 2 Yamanaka Ino. Yamanaka Ino? Hearing the visitor reveal his name, Liang's eyes lit up, and the corners of his mouth slightly raised. He felt that the key to whether he could complete the novice mission was Yamanaka Ino. Who is Yamanaka Ino? She is one of the 12 little strongmen of Konoha. She is from the famous Yamanaka clan of Konoha. She is a member of the pig in the pig, deer, and butterfly combination. Ms. Yamanaka, our store is not a deceptive store. The games in our store are definitely worth the money. Believe me, as long as you play for an hour, you will definitely fall in love with the games in this internet cafe. I don't believe it. Faced with Liang's assurance, Yamanaka Ino didn't believe it. She was not a fool. What kind of game would be so expensive? It was clearly a trick for her young age. Seeing Ino who was unmoved, Liang said further, "How about this? As long as you play for an hour, if this game does not satisfy you, then I will let you destroy this internet cafe. How about it? Boss, are you so confident?" Just kidding. Liang has absolute confidence in the quality of Jinyang's heroes, not to mention that you can practice in reality after getting the cheats in the game. Who would not like such a fun game that can make you stronger? Okay, since you are so confident, then I will try it, but don't worry, even if the game is not fun, I will not destroy your store. It can be seen from the original work that Yamanaka Ino is an enthusiastic and kind person. Facing Sakura, who has a wide forehead and lacks confidence, it is she who encourages Sakura to be brave and be herself. Even though the two later became rivals in love because of Nisuzi, after the two tied in the Chunin exam, Ino was not angry, but said to Sakura, "You finally bloomed and became a beautiful flower." As an affirmation of Sakura, "Boss, here's 10,000 teals." Okay. Having made the decision, Ino was not the kind of person who would drag his feet and gave Liang 10,000 teals directly. At the same time, the system's prompt sounded, reminding him that he had completed the task and a new task was coming. Novice task completed. Task reward: activate the game The Legend of Jinyoung. New task: the total turnover of the internet cafe reaches 1 million teals. Task progress. 100th task reward: the complete collection of Jinyoung's novels and TV series, and 3 sets of computers for the internet cafe. Glancing at the taskbar, Liang felt his balls ache again. There's nothing to say about the turnover reaching 1 million teals. With Ino joining the game, there will definitely be more and more people coming in the future, and it will only take time to complete the task. But what the hell is this task reward? 3 sets of computers are okay, but what's the use of this complete collection of Jinyoung's novels and TV series? Playing games can at least make you stronger, but watching TV, well, it can't be said that it has no effect at all. At least these TVs will give players who play The Legend of Jinyoung some clues. This TV series collection is still very useful for players like Ino, but it is useless to Liang. Well, it can be regarded as a supplement to the game's strategy. Boss, how do I do this? Sitting on the chair, Ino looked a little embarrassed in front of the computer in front of him. In fact, there are computers in the Naruto world, and even laptops. Ino is no stranger to computers. However, compared with the computers in the internet cafe, the computers in the Naruto world are more than 1 year behind. Faced with such high technology, inexplicably, Ino lost a little confidence in the games in this internet cafe. Here is the switch, just press it. The computers in the internet cafe are a bit like the all-in-one computers on Earth, integrating the host and the monitor together. So when Ino wanted to turn on the computer just now, he didn't find the host of the computer. Boss, you have too few games here. There is only one. And what is this helmet for? After turning on the computer, facing the empty and tidy computer desktop and the helmet on his head, Ino couldn't help but complain. This helmet is a good thing. A completely black pipe connected the back of the chair and the helmet above. This helmet is not an ordinary thing, but the real black technology of this internet cafe. Wearing the helmet allows players to directly enter the game in the form of a spiritual body, which is the legendary virtual game helmet. The thing must be a good thing, but this shape will inevitably make people think that they are getting their hair permed in a hair salon. There are actually 2 modes for playing computer games in my internet cafe. The first is the normal mode, where players use the mouse and keyboard to play. The second is the immersive mode, where players put on the helmet. After explaining the use of this thing to Ino was surprised. There is actually such a thing. At this time, Liang breathed a sigh of relief. Ino did not imagine the helmet as a device to read other people's memories. It was really great. If it were an experienced ninja, it would not be so easy to pass. It's great to meet Ino, who is still a student of the ninja school. What? You asked Liang how he knew she hadn't graduated yet. Nonsense. At this time, Ino was not wearing a Konoha forehead protector. Without a forehead protector, she was not a ninja. I want to try the immersion mode. Okay, after you put on the helmet, just click the mouse to open the game. So simple. After muttering, Ino stretched out her hands, lowered the height of the helmet, and then put it on. One word of advice: when you want to quit the game, just say quit in your mind. Got it, boss? After saying that, Ino controlled the mouse and clicked on the only game in the computer. After the game started, Ino felt a black screen in front of her eyes. After about a second, with a pleasant BGM bamboo garden love song coming from her ears, 2 options appeared in front of her. 1. Restart. 2. Load progress. Without saying anything, Ino chose to restart. Unlike the Earth version, this version of The Legend of Jinyoung does not have a program to name the protagonist of the game and set the character's attributes. The name of this game is bound to the guest, and the attributes of the protagonist of the game are also set according to the guest himself. Because it was an immersive mode, Ino seemed to have traveled to the world in the game. Is this an illusion? Faced with such a real world, Ino immediately thought that she might have been under an illusion, so she immediately disrupted the flow of her chakra, hoping to break through the illusion. But it was useless. Not to mention that she had no chakra in the game. Even if she had, she couldn't break through it at all, because this was not an illusion. What's going on? Where did my chakra go? Ino looked around and felt a little terrified. Liang, who was in front of the computer screen, also saw Ino's panic in the game, so he quickly disconnected the connection of the game helmet and forced Ino to kick out. Ino, relax. This is just a game. Don't be so nervous. Relax and chatter. After Liang's detailed explanation, Ino relaxed and opened the game, ready to experience it for the second time. Chapter 3 Becoming an Expert. The second time Ino entered the game, she relaxed a lot. She looked left and right, searching the initial house bit by bit, until she really couldn't find anything. She walked out of the house. Then she came to the legendary big map. In the big map, Ino looked like a giant. Every step she took was several miles away, so she didn't walk a few steps to the nearest inn. After entering the inn, Ino returned to her original size from the giant state. This is amazing. He smiled. Just this kind of technology that makes people feel real. Ino felt that 10,000 teals per hour was not a loss. The game continued. There were many people, NPCs, in the inn. Ino went to talk to them one by one. Although these NPCs were mechanically repeating the same sentence, it was enough to surprise Ino. After leaving the inn, Ino walked around randomly in the big map. After a while, she saw another building. When she was about to go in, she found that, no matter what method she used, she couldn't get in. Not only this building, but many buildings around her couldn't get in. Unable to enter, Ino angrily quit the game and said to Liang in dissatisfaction, "Boss, why can't I enter these places?" Liang laughed and said, "You have to go to Nangxianju first to open all the buildings." Nangxianju? What is that place? Well, it may not be so clear to say. You play in normal mode first, and I will guide you. Nodding, Ino directly used the mouse to control the little man. Here you go down. Here go left. Here, yes, it's here. Just go in. Under Liang's guidance, Ino controlled the character to enter Nangxianju. After a plot, she finally opened all the building functions. Okay, now you can enter all the buildings. Continue playing. Okay. Oh, carrot. Ino entered the game again and began to wander around, entering the buildings when she saw them, asking questions when she found NPCs, and rummaging through boxes to find things, having a lot of fun. A Sanfeng swordsmanship? What a strange name. After running all the way, Ino came to Linping's his residence and found this swordsmanship secret book in a relatively hidden place. Speaking of it, Sanfeng swordsmanship can be said to be the worst swordsmanship in Jinyang's heroes. Even if it is practiced to the maximum level, the attack is just so-so. It is okay to use it to kill soldiers, but it is extremely difficult to use it to kill boss. Liang knew that this was a rubbish swordsmanship, but Ino didn't know. After rummaging through boxes and cabinets for so long, he finally found a swordsmanship. Even if the name is a bit strange, it does not hinder Ino's practice. Ino picked up the sword manual of Sanfeng swordsmanship, as if he had learned it by himself. After silently reciting use in his heart, the secret book turned into a ray of light and merged into Ino's body. At the same time, several sword moves of Sanfeng swordsmanship appeared in Ino's mind. This sword technique is so exquisite. Unlike the sword techniques in Naruto, most of the sword techniques in Jinyang's games are based on skills, while most of the sword techniques in Naruto are based on destructive power, and are fast, accurate, and ruthless. Although Ino is still just a student, as a member of the Yamanaka family, she still has a vision. It's a pity that it can only be used in the game. It would be great if it could be used in reality. Shaking her head, Ino did not continue to think about it, but continued to search the map. After learning the sword technique, Ino naturally wanted to find someone to test the power of the sword technique. Walking and stopping along the way, He really found a few garbage NPCs to fight. Unlike the normal mode, the battle system of Jinyang's heroes in the immersive mode is real-time combat. Ino killed these NPCs head-on with her own qualities. If it were her in the past, it would not be so easy to kill these NPCs. Even the garbage NPCs have martial arts. Thinking of this, Ino became even more satisfied with Sanfeng swordsmanship. Just when she wanted to continue looking for NPCs to fight and practice Sanfeng swordsmanship to the maximum level, she was forced to quit the game. Hey, boss, what's going on? Ino was very upset after being forced to quit the game. She had just experienced the exquisiteness of martial arts. Just when she was enjoying the fun of the game, she was forced to quit the game. She was upset, no matter how she thought about it. The 1 hour computer time is up. If you want to continue playing, then pay the renewal fee. Boss, I have no money on me. Please let me play for a while longer. Just for a while. At this time, Ino looked very much like Liang when he was young. At that time, he had no money and begged the internet cafe owner in this way. Looking at Ino like this, Liang of course rejected her. Just kidding. This is a rule set by the system, and Liang has no authority to modify it. At least not now. No, you can't play without money. Humph, stingy guy. Seeing Liang's firm attitude, Ino knew that she was afraid that she would not be able to play today. Swindler boss, I'm leaving. Welcome to visit next time. After Ino left, Liang closed the internet cafe. Now that he had an income of 10,000 taels, he could buy some daily necessities from the system, and at least he wouldn't starve to death in the next few days. Since there was no pressure in life, Liang also wanted to try playing games with a virtual helmet. TSK, virtual games. This is the black technology I dreamed of for a long time. Let me try it. Is it as exaggerated as written in the novel? Haha, Jinyang's heroes. Here I come. Ino was a rookie, but Liang was an old bird. Even if he didn't remember some details, he still knew how to use some top martial arts. In just a few hours, he had gathered a set of top martial arts. Internal Force, 9 Yang magic skill. Palm method, 18 dragon subduing palms. Light kung fu, Lingbo Weebu. And a strong internal force. Not bad, not bad. Now I can barely be considered a master. In the evening, after Liang got off the plane, he began to check his body. Compared to a few hours ago, he is now a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus Rex. He can fight 100 of his former selves alone, without any pressure. This is only because these martial arts are not at the maximum level. If they can be upgraded to the maximum level, he can become even stronger. What level am I in the Naruto world now? Genin? Chunin? Or Jonin? Liang estimated that, even if he practiced these 3 sets of martial arts to the maximum level, he would probably be a special Jonin. He can be comparable to ordinary Jonin in close combat, but he is rather poor in other aspects. At least he does not know ninjutsu, which is the ability to attack from a distance. Only in close combat can he exert his full combat power. It's a pity that no matter how many martial arts you learn in the game, in reality, only one set of martial arts can be used. Haha, it would be great if there was no such setting. Shaking his head, Liang knew that he was daydreaming. I wonder if this girl Ino will come tomorrow? Chapter 4 Ino vs. Sakura. The next day, Liang got up early and opened the door as usual, hoping that there would be customers coming to the door. However, he waited until noon and there were no customers. No one even came to ask. You can imagine how deserted this alley is. Liang was really lucky that Ino could come here yesterday. Fortunately, Liang seized this great fortune, otherwise, he would not know when the first customer would come to the door. Speaking of Ino, what is this girl doing now? Ino was not doing anything. Of course, she was studying in the ninja school. The students of this grade will graduate soon. Every time at this time, the teachers of the school will try every means to enhance the students' combat experience. No, today Iruka arranged a practical class. On the playground, a group of 12-year-old kids were forming a circle, watching the duel between 2 classmates in the circle. Bang! With a light sound, a little boy was knocked to the ground. Iruka, who was in charge of being the referee, immediately stepped forward to check, and then announced the winner. Kishimoto Masashi wins. Both parties sign a seal of reconciliation. The two who were fighting just now immediately signed a seal and then left the field. Next game. Yamanaka Ino vs Hiruno Sakura. In the crowd, Yamanaka Ino and Hiruno Sakura looked at each other and immediately entered the duel circle. Broad forehead. I didn't expect it would be the two of us again today. I warn you again. Sasuke-kun is mine. Just admit defeat. Ino pig. Stop dreaming. Sasuke-kun is mine. Broad forehead. Ino pig. Oh, the two did not fight directly, but unexpectedly chose to quarrel, which directly irritated Iruka. He yelled, Ino, Sakura, start quickly, or you won't graduate. Iruka's yell startled both of them, and they quickly bowed to Iruka to apologize. I'm sorry, Iruka-sensei. After seeing Iruka's expression eased a little, the two began the duel. Ino pig, watch this. Sakura took a wooden kunai and took the lead in attacking, and Ino quickly dodged. Seeing Ino dodging, Sakura did not feel disappointed, but started to attack Ino fiercely. In terms of the strength of the two, Ino is naturally stronger. After all, her family is a famous family in Konoha, and they have a family secret technique, the heart transfer technique. But Sakura has an inner personality. In the original work, after Ino used the heart transfer technique on Sakura during the Chunin exam, she was directly blasted out by Sakura's inner personality. So, the heart transfer technique is useless to Sakura. In addition to the secret technique, Ino is only slightly better than Sakura in physical skills. She had fought against Sakura 2 days ago, and after a hard fight, she won the duel. But today, for some reason, in Ino's eyes, Sakura's attack was full of flaws. What's going on? Why does Sakura have so many flaws? This kunai thrust is so weak. As long as I lower my head and poke Sakura's armpit with my right hand, her attack will be broken instantly. And this move is also. Ino was very confused. She didn't know what happened. Sakura, who could fight her equally in the past, had so many flaws today. Could it be? Ino was not a fool. It was only a few days later, and she didn't deliberately practice physical skills. How could she find so many flaws in Sakura? The reason must be because of the game yesterday. Thinking of the game, Ino decided to verify her idea. She forced Sakura back with a sweeping kick, and then left the original place with a few jumps, and came to the outermost edge of the battle circle. Shikamaru, go pick up a branch for me. I won't go, it's too much trouble. Anyone who has watched anime knows that Shikamaru is the most afraid of trouble. He would never sit if he could lie down. He is a very lazy person. But when it comes to major issues, he will also abandon his fear of trouble and become a very reliable person. It's just that now Ino inexplicably asked him to pick up branches, and he was too lazy to do such a small thing. Please Shikamaru, this is very important to me. Ino also knew what kind of person Shikamaru was, so she said again very seriously. Is that so? Then okay. Thank you Shikamaru, it's better to find me a straighter branch. I know, you are so nagging. Seeing Ino so serious, Shikamaru had no choice but to complain about the trouble and started walking to the periphery of the playground. Ino, what do you want to do? Iruka heard the conversation between Ino and Shikamaru very clearly. Picking up branches? What kind of operation is this? It's okay, Iruka-sensei. I just asked Shikamaru to find me a weapon. Weapon? Iruka's mouth twitched. Using a branch as a weapon? I think you are teasing me. With the hardness of the branch, can it be used as a weapon? I'm afraid it will break when it touches Sakura's wooden kunai. Don't worry, Iruka-sensei. I just want to test it a little bit. Okay, I hope you don't play too much. In his opinion, Ino's strength is the same as Sakura's without using secret techniques. Now giving up the use of wooden kunai and using branches as weapons instead is simply seeking death. Humph, Ino pig, I won't let you. Sakura felt insulted. How can you use branches as weapons in a duel? But she didn't take the opportunity to continue attacking, but stayed where she was, waiting for Shikamaru to come back. There were several big trees in the corner of the playground. Because he didn't know how long branches Ino needed, Shikamaru not only picked up a few, but also climbed up the tree to break off a few. Take it, pick it yourself. Looking at the dozen branches, Ino chose a branch that she thought was the most suitable. thanked her again, and then turned to Sakura and said, "Let's continue." Wide forehead. Asterisk carrot carrot asterisk. Die. Ino pig. Equals after saying that, he sprinted towards Ino. Sakura hated being called wide forehead because of her appearance, and Ino was her rival in love. With the two sides added up, Sakura wanted to beat Ino to the ground, and then spank her hard to let her know what words she couldn't say. The next step is to verify my idea. Holding the branch in hand, looking at Sakura rushing over, Ino did not panic, but curled up the corners of her mouth and silently chanted, Sangfeng sword technique, pine waves like thunder. The characteristics of Sangfeng sword technique are like the strength of pine and the speed of wind. Although it is unpredictable, it is straightforward and never retreats. An inch longer is an inch stronger. The length of the branch must be longer than the kunai. Facing Ino's sudden attack, Sakura was startled and quickly changed her mind and did not fight with Ino. Sakura changed her moves and Ino followed suit. Ino's body kept shaking. The branch in her hand went straight back and forth, and the attack speed was extremely fast and full of strength, which was extremely swift. Facing such a fierce attack, Sakura had no way to resist, and she didn't know how many times she was hit by Ino all over her body. Seeing this, Iruka on the side quickly stopped the duel. Stop. Anyone with a discerning eye knew that Sakura had no room for counterattack and could only passively take the beating. Fortunately, Ino was holding a branch. If it was a sword, I didn't expect the Yamanaka family to have such a powerful swordsmanship. Thank you for the compliment, Mr. Iruka. Chapter 5. Pulling Shikamaru and Choji into the pit. After the duel, Sakura looked a little embarrassed, but she was not injured. At most, she had some flesh wounds, which would heal naturally in a day or two. After the two sides made a seal of reconciliation, Ino returned to her original position with a smile. Ino, when did you become so powerful? Ino, you are so strong. After returning to his position, Shikamaru looked at Ino with surprise. As a member of the Nara clan who was on good terms with the Yamanaka family, he knew that the Yamanaka clan did not have any powerful swordsmanship, let alone inferior swordsmanship. Now Ino had learned a wonderful swordsmanship from nowhere, which naturally surprised Shikamaru. However, Akimichi Choji did not think so much. While eating potato chips, he praised Ino. Hearing Choji's praise, Ino wanted to pat his shoulder with her hand. But when he dropped the branch in his hand and wanted to pat Choji, she felt a strong pain. The sudden pain made Ino gasp. What's wrong with you, Ino? Are you okay, Ino? Noticing Ino's discomfort, Shikamaru and Choji asked immediately. It's okay, I just have a cramp in my right arm. Cramp? Hearing that it was a cramp, Shikamaru frowned and continued. Is it a side effect of using that? Ino thought for a moment, nodded and said, it should be. Is it serious? It's okay, I think it will be fine after a rest. It's best to use less tricks with side effects. There are side effects and cramps. On the one hand, it shows that Ino's physical fitness is not enough to use this set of swordsmanship, and on the other hand, it also shows that Ino has not fully mastered it. If Ino has fully mastered it, she won't use too much force and cause cramps. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Ino herself didn't expect that the swordsmanship that she could use at will in the game would have to consider her physical fitness in reality. However, since the swordsmanship can be used, what about other martial arts? Ino knew that in addition to swordsmanship and palm techniques, there are also internal strength and light skills in the game. Let's not talk about internal strength for now, but if she learns Kingong, her strength will definitely be improved a lot. Thinking of the magical internet cafe and the martial arts in the game, Ino wanted to fly there immediately to play for 3 days and 3 nights. By the way, Shikamaru, Choji, don't say I don't take care of you. After school, you guys come with me. Follow you? Why? I want to go home and lie down and rest. Don't be so long-winded. I just ask you if you want to go. Okay, I'll go. Shikamaru was helpless. He was smart and probably knew what Ino was going to do. Although he was curious about Ino's secret, he really wanted to go home and lie down. Shikamaru is going, and you Choji? Of course I have no problem. Okay, after school, you guys follow me. Ino was there to trick Shikamaru and Choji into following her after school, but she didn't know how much waves her fight with Sakura just now caused among her classmates. For Sasuke, who was determined to kill that man, Ino's performance just now was simply stimulating him. Because even he couldn't see how clearly the swordsmanship used by Ino was, he could only see some vague shadows. Ask yourself, if he were to face Ino just now, maybe the scene would be much more interesting, but it would be difficult to defeat Ino. The Yamanaka clan doesn't have such a swordsmanship at all, and even Konoha doesn't have such a swordsmanship. Ino must be hiding some secrets. As the second young master of the Uchiha family, Sasuke still has some knowledge. He knows that the swordsmanship used by Ino is different from the swordsmanship used by ninjas in style. When the Uchiha family was still there were also members in the family who practiced kendo. But Sasuke had never seen a sword being used like this. After staring at Ino for a long time, Sasuke secretly made a decision. Ding-ling-ling, it was afternoon, the study time of the ninja school was over, and the students began to pack up and go home. Here, Ino walked quickly to Shikamaru and Choji and said, "Have you packed?" Shikamaru didn't really have much to pack. Being lazy, he always put his books directly in the classroom so that he wouldn't have to bring them to school the next day. Choji was similar. He used his bag to carry snacks, and his books were also placed in the classroom like Shikamaru. "Let's go now that you're done." Looking at Ino, who was so impetuous, Shikamaru sighed secretly and then said to Choji, "Choji, let's go." "Okay, Shikamaru." After that, the three of them walked out of the classroom. After leaving the school, Ino walked in front, urging Shikamaru and Choji as she walked, asking them to hurry up. There was no other way. The two people who were urged by Ino could only speed up their pace. After walking for about 10 minutes, Ino and the other two finally reached their destination. "Hey, the little girl from the Yamanaka family is here again." "What little girl? That's really bad. Boss, you should call me Ino from now on." "Okay." Liang nodded and looked at the two people next to Ino. One was a lazy boy with a pineapple hairstyle and a helpless look on his face. The other was a fat boy who was eating potato chips. Liang knew at a glance that these two people must be Shikamaru and Choji. However, he had never seen these two people before, so he had to ask as usual. "By the way, who are these two?" "They are my companions, Shikamaru and Choji." "Hello, two little friends." "Hello, this uncle." "Boss, uncle?" Hearing Shikamaru calling him like this, the corners of Liang's eyes twitched instantly. To be honest, in his current body, he is only about 20 years old. It's just right to call him brother, but calling him uncle, is it considered a mess of generations? "By the way, boss, we don't even know your name yet." Hearing Ino's question, Liang said calmly, "My name is Liang. You can call me boss or brother Liang. It's all fine." "You're so arrogant. Who wants to call you brother Liang?" "Whatever you want." Liang shrugged, looking indifferent. "Okay, boss, let's stop talking nonsense and play the game." "Okay, the old rules, 10,000 teals per hour." "No problem." As Ino said that, in front of Shikamaru's incredulous eyes, he took out 30,000 teals of bills. "Ino, where did you get so much money?" As children of a famous family, their pocket money is naturally more than that of ordinary people, but Shikamaru can't take out 30,000 teals at once anyway. "This is the money I saved for 2 months, and it's really a bargain for you today." Originally, Ino just wanted to play by herself today. After playing for 3 hours, she could go home and have dinner. But she didn't expect that the martial arts she learned in the game could actually be used in reality. In this way, the kind-hearted girl naturally thought of the two friends she had played with since childhood. 3 hours turned into 1 hour, crying. Carrot. Chapter 6, Shikamaru's Game Experience. After paying the money, Ino skillfully led Shikamaru and Choji to the computer. This high-tech computer shocked Shikamaru and Choji. "It's strange. The environment here is so bad, but the computer is unexpectedly good." Liang, who had just put 30,000 teals into the cash register, seemed helpless when he heard Shikamaru's complaints. "I also want to decorate it well, but the system won't let me." "Why won't the system let me?" "Don't ask. The answer is that you don't have the permission." "Shikamaru, Choji, let me tell you, this game is very magical, amazing. The three of them sat down, and Ino helped them turn on the computer, and then explained in detail some precautions for playing the game, as well as strategies such as where to put the items in the game. Do you understand? No problem. Got it. After getting a positive answer, Ino helped the two enter the game, and started playing the game herself. This time, I want to learn more powerful martial arts. Think about it, a Sanfeng sword technique can improve Ino's strength a lot. If she learns more martial arts, won't it improve even more? So, this time she decided to play seriously. Yesterday, she just played with the attitude of playing games, and her attitude was not very serious. But today, her expression was unusually serious. After all, this was related to her own strength. Not to mention, that Ino was trying hard to find various martial arts. Let's talk about Shikamaru. When he entered the game, his first reaction was the same as Ino's yesterday, and he also thought that he was under an illusion. Fortunately, he remembered what Ino said, and knew that this was just a game world. Knowing that he was in the game world, Shikamaru did not act rashly, but first recalled Ino's instructions, and recalled how to play this game roughly, and then he began to search for this initial house. Because of Ino's instructions, Shikamaru quickly searched the initial house, and came to the big map, and then went directly to Nangxianju, and opened all the buildings. With Ino's early strategy, Shikamaru's gaming journey can be said to be smooth sailing. Without taking too many detours, he went directly to the Fuwei escort agency, and found the Sanfeng swordsmanship. Is this the swordsmanship that Ino practices? Looking at the Sanfeng swordsmanship in his hand, Shikamaru chose to practice it without saying anything. For a moment, Shikamaru's mind was just like Ino's yesterday, with many sword moves of the Sanfeng swordsmanship. After learning the swordsmanship, Shikamaru did not follow Ino's words to find those garbage NPCs to practice martial arts. First of all, he is a lazy person and doesn't like to play games with a purpose. Secondly, if he plays completely according to Ino's strategy, is it Ino who is playing the game, or is he playing? Therefore, for Linpingxi in the other room, Shikamaru did not ignore him directly after the conversation like Ino did. Instead, after listening to the conversation carefully, Shikamaru chose to let Linpingxi join the team. The escort agency was destroyed, and both parents died. Do you want me to avenge him? Shikamaru didn't care whether to take revenge or not. The reason why he wanted Linpingxi to join the team was actually to let Linpingxi go first in case of a battle in the future, so that he could take a break. As for practicing Sanfeng sword technique, anyway, he has already learned it, so what difference does it make whether he practices it or not? In fact, Shikamaru didn't want to come here. Ino forced him and Choji to come here. He just wanted to go home and lie down. However, since he was already here, and this game was unexpectedly interesting, Shikamaru devoted a little energy to playing this game. Shikamaru was not very interested in martial arts. Instead, he was attracted by the plot and characters in the game. Want to avenge Linpingxi, the flower-stealing thief Xian Bogwen, the gentle scholar Duan Yu. When he was in Nangxianju, Shikamaru knew that the ultimate goal of the game was to collect all 12 heavenly books. And these 12 heavenly books correspond to 12 novels. Although he had not read these 12 novels, he instinctively realized that if he wanted to collect the Kishanshu, he would have to connect these people and things. Decryption? I like it. Shikamaru prefers to use his brain rather than use force. He looked at the system time and found that there were only a few minutes left until the hour. With only so much time left, Shikamaru simply stopped searching and sat cross-legged to analyze how to play the game in the future, based on the limited information he had obtained. Yes, although it was not in line with Ino's original intention, Shikamaru was indeed led into a trap by her. If Shikamaru could not solve the mystery and collect the Kishanshu in a day, he would probably keep playing this game. Okay, the 1 hour online time is up. Do you want to add more time? An hour passed quickly, and Ino and the other two also quit from the game. Boss, why did the game ask me to choose a set of martial arts to use in reality when I quit this time? What does this mean? This time when he got off the computer, Ino was not dissatisfied, but full of doubts. Have you learned more than one set of martial arts? Hearing this, Ino nodded and said, yes, in addition to the Sanfeng sword skill at the beginning, I also learned the Thunderbolt sword skill, Ziksha magic skill and Tian Zang. The martial arts that Ino learned are all martial arts that can be easily acquired. The Thunderbolt sword skill and Ziksha magic skill only need to open a box, and the Tian Zang requires a fight with Zhang Sanfeng. If you lose, you will get this Kingang. Since Ino has already learned 2 martial arts, as well as an internal skill and Kingang, when she exits the game will prompt her to choose the martial arts she wants to use in reality. Only by choosing the martial arts used in reality can Ino use it smoothly when fighting with others. For example, if Ino used the Sanfeng sword skill yesterday, if she chose the Thunderbolt sword skill today, then in reality, if she wants to use the Sanfeng sword skill, she will feel extremely awkward and out of place, and will not have the style of yesterday at all. Let me tell you this, nagging. So that's how it is. After listening to Liang's explanation, Ino finally understood. By the way, what is this inner strength? Why can't I learn it in reality? Hearing this question, Liang rolled his eyes at Ino and said, you already have a kind of internal energy, that is, chakra. If you still want to practice inner strength, it's not impossible, but in this way, you have 2 kinds of energy. Can you withstand the impact of chakra and inner strength? If you are not careful, you will explode and die. In fact, this can be regarded as the system's protection for players. When the player already has a kind of internal energy, the other kind of energy obtained by the player in the game will not directly act on the player, so as to avoid unnecessary tragedies. Of course, Ino already knows the root of Ziksha's magic. If she wants, she can practice it in reality. However, the system obviously won't care about this kind of suicidal behavior. Chapter 7. Ino's envy and jealousy. Is it so scary? Ino was really shocked when she heard that practicing 2 kinds of energy might cause the body to explode. Fortunately, she did not practice rashly, but asked Liang first. At this moment, Ino was really glad for her caution. After recovering from her mood, Ino asked her 2 friends, Shikamaru, Choji, did you gain anything? As for me, except for the Matsuke swordsmanship that Ino told me, I spent the rest of my time making money to buy food. In Choji's opinion, the Matsuke swordsmanship used by Ino was just so-so. Matsuke swordsmanship vs his meat bomb tank. He thinks he will definitely win. Want to stab me with a sword? Look, I'll crush you into a pancake. ***. So, how can he, who hasn't even mastered his family's secret technique completely, have the time to learn martial arts? If he has this time, he might as well find something delicious. Ino, I tell you, this game is simply amazing. I bought a roast chicken in it, and the taste is simply amazing. In addition to roast chicken, there are also those steamed buns, scallion pancakes, and yangchan noodles. These foods are simply delicious, and there are also stop, I get it. Ino covered her face. She didn't expect that Shikamaru would give up practicing martial arts and choose to make money to buy food. Not only Ino didn't expect it, but even Liang didn't expect it. A martial arts game was turned into a food game by Shikamaru. This is unique. What about you, Shikamaru? What did you gain? Shikamaru was hopeless, so Ino turned her eyes to Shikamaru next to him. Shikamaru still looked lazy and replied, it's okay, so. Hearing Shikamaru's answer, Ino, who knew his temper well, immediately asked vigilantly, you are not sleeping in the game, are you? Don't say it. At the beginning, Shikamaru really had this idea. If the plot of this game hadn't attracted him too much, he might have found a place to have a good sleep. No, I'm also playing the game very hard. That's good. Ino patted Shikamaru's shoulder happily and continued to ask, then can you tell me what martial arts you have obtained? No, it's very troublesome. Just talking, what's the trouble? Okay. Shikamaru had no choice but to tell him the martial arts he had obtained. Sanfeng sword technique. This is what you told me, and I also got the martial arts you got, in addition to the Kuang Feng sword technique, Hu family sword technique, 6 meridians divine sword, beaming divine art, Lingbo Weebu, iron palm fist, 7 injury fist. That's all? Shikamaru said a series of martial arts, which made Ino dumbfounded. That's all? Compared to the dumbfounded Ino, Shikamaru himself seemed very calm, completely unaware of how awesome his behavior was. Asshole, why can you gain so much in 1 hour, and I can't even gain as much as you in 2 hours? This person is afraid of comparison. Ino's gains in 2 hours are only so little, and Shikamaru's gains in 1 hour have greatly exceeded hers, which makes her extremely unbalanced. The unbalanced Ino looked at the calm Shikamaru and wanted to strangle him. Well, she thought so and did so. As a result, before she could touch Shikamaru, Shikamaru took a small step away from the spot. Seeing that Shikamaru dared to hide, Ino launched an attack again and chased after Shikamaru. Facing the crazy Ino, Shikamaru tapped his feet and successfully avoided Ino's attack after a few small steps. For a while, Shikamaru hid and Ino chased, and the small internet cafe seemed very lively. Faced with this situation, Liang did not stop their fight, but let them play to their heart's content. Anyway, when Ino found that she could not touch Shikamaru, she would naturally give up. Sure enough, it didn't take long for Ino to react and stop this childish behavior. Are you using Lingbo Weebu? Facing Ino's question, Shikamaru nodded and admitted it directly. Damn it, I feel like Mighty Iron Zang is totally inferior to your Lingbo Weebu. Shikamaru shrugged his shoulders, indicating that he didn't care. Seeing that indifferent look, Ino couldn't help but want to hit him again. After taking a deep breath, Ino finally calmed down. RQ thought, at least her gains were better than those of Choji. Boss, we'll leave first and come back tomorrow. Okay, you're welcome to come anytime. After seeing Ino and the other two to the door, Liang smiled as he watched them leave. To be honest, he envied the friendship between Ino and Shikamaru and Choji. This kind of friendship in youth is the most precious. Only those who have entered society know how difficult it is to obtain this kind of friendship without any interests. Okay, I should continue my practice. The martial arts that Liang obtained yesterday have not yet been practiced to the highest level. A little effort today should be enough. Time flies, and 3 days have passed in the blink of an eye. During these 3 days, Ino, Shikamaru and Choji came to play for an hour every day. As for how they got the money, Liang didn't ask much. With the identities of the three of them, it was easy to get some money, not to mention that they had a lot of pocket money. What surprised Liang was that he thought that the first person among the three to complete the plot and get the first heavenly book would be Ino. Although Ino often ignored some plots in order to find things, he was the most enthusiastic about the game among the three. Unfortunately, it was not him who completed the plot of a heavenly book first, but the seemingly lazy Shikamaru. However, thinking about Shikamaru's terrible IQ, Liang was relieved. The time for this computer is up. Do you need extra time? No, boss, we should go back. Well, welcome next time. After the three left, Liang did not close the store directly this time, but lay on the chair and began to think. He has now practiced all his martial arts to the top level, and there is nothing more to practice. Before a new game appears, he is not going to play Jin Yang's Heroes. After all, no matter how fun a game is, you will get tired of it after playing it for a long time. To be honest, he hadn't left the Sally in all these days, since he came to Konoha village. He secretly estimated that with his current martial arts, even if he was found to be abnormal, he could quickly return to the internet cafe before others could react. As long as he could return to the internet cafe smoothly, he would be invincible. Moreover, the internet cafe hadn't had new customers for a long time, and he wanted to go out for a walk to see if he could attract new customers. But he was afraid that he would encounter some accidents after going out, and thus conflict with the ninjas of Konoha. So, should I go out for a walk? Just when Liang was struggling to decide whether to go out or not, Ino and the other two just came out of the alley and met Sasuke, who was waiting for them. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8, 6 Meridian's Divine Sword. Sasuke, are you waiting for me here? Seeing Sasuke, Ino immediately abandoned her two friends, came to Sasuke, and took his arm. Sasuke had long been accustomed to Ino's enthusiasm. There was no way. Who said Sasuke was handsome? Little girls of this age are almost all obsessed with appearance, and these little girls can't resist Sasuke with his peerless appearance. Of course, not all goddesses are obsessed with appearance, at least Hinata is not. If Naruto dresses himself up, his appearance should be okay. But Naruto has difficulty eating now, so naturally he is not interested in dressing up. Ahem, I'm getting off topic. Is the secret of your becoming stronger that weird store? Sasuke asked directly without any beating around the bush. That's right, Sasuke, if you want to become stronger, you can also try it. Shikamaru has always disliked Sasuke, and he doesn't want to answer Sasuke's question. But he didn't answer, but Ino on the side had no scruples. Sasuke was a little surprised to hear Ino's straightforward answer. In the ninja world, strength is everything. For example, the secret of making people stronger, which family is not hiding it, for fear that others will know. Even the ninja school only teaches students the most basic 3-body technique. If civilian students want to obtain more advanced ninjutsu, they can only exchange it with contributions or sell themselves to other ninja families. If there is no special opportunity, they will only be cannon fodder on the battlefield. Even geniuses who graduate early are because of their own families. For example, the Uchiha clan behind Uchiha Itachi. Even Hatake Kakashi has a family inherited Hatake sword technique. Namake's Minato is a civilian genius, right? If he hadn't met Jiraiya, do you think he could have become Hokage? I have said so much here, but it is actually just to illustrate a truth. This kind of secret method or secret that can make people stronger is impossible to obtain without paying a little price. Therefore, when Sasuke heard Ino say it without any scruples, he was very surprised. What's in there? Sasuke's desire to become stronger has never changed, but even though he is eager to become stronger, he has not become reckless. It must be said that before facing Uchiha Itachi, his own ninja quality is still quite high. It's actually a place to play games. We will become stronger while playing. We will become stronger while playing. Hearing Ino say this, Sasuke immediately showed an expression that said, "Are you kidding me?" His cold image collapsed instantly. Sasuke, don't disbelieve it. Seeing Sasuke's unfriendly expression, Shikamaru also changed his lazy image and said seriously, Ino is right. It's a magical place, and the way to become stronger is just to play games. Sasuke didn't believe what Ino said, but he believed 70% of what Shikamaru said with his super high IQ. If that's the case, then you must have paid a heavy price. In Sasuke's view, Ino went from being able to fight Sakura on equal terms, to being able to directly crush Sakura. She must have paid a price. Besides, if Ino has become so strong, Shikamaru and Choji who are with her must have become stronger too. The price. Speaking of the price, not only Shikamaru and Ino, but even Choji who has been quiet all the time showed a strange expression. You are right. I did pay a heavy price. The price of 10,000 ryo per hour for using the computer directly wiped out the pocket money of the 3 people. That is to say, the parents of the 3 people have a high status in the family, and with the influence of their parents, the 3 of them can get money in the family. Otherwise, they can't afford the computer fee alone. Moreover, because they have to play games on the computer, as the IQ of the team, Shikamaru naturally has to think of ways to make money. This has led to a significant reduction in his daily rest time. This can also be regarded as a heavy price. Well, it should be. Hearing Shikamaru's reply, Sasuke's face was heavy. He made up his mind that, as long as he could become stronger, he would not hesitate to dedicate his body to the devil. However, when he nodded, and broke away from Ino, and walked towards the internet cafe with heavy steps, Shikamaru spoke again. However, if it were you, this price should not be a big deal. After all, your Uchiha family left a lot of money. Sasuke, who had just passed by Shikamaru, stiffened his body, turned his head mechanically, and asked with a paralyzed face, you mean, this price is actually money? Yes. The 3 nodded affirmatively. In other words, as long as I have money, I can become stronger? Yes, yes. The 3 nodded again. Do you think I look like an idiot? Pointing to his handsome cheek, Sasuke roared angrily, I'm not that idiot Naruto. After saying that, Sasuke attacked Shikamaru, who was closest to him, without warning, and raised his hand to punch him. If it were the previous Shikamaru, he would probably be attacked by Sasuke. But now, Shikamaru dodged Sasuke's attack with a flash and jumped back, and even pulled away, and then he raised a middle finger to him. It was the Zanchang sword of the 6 Meridians Divine Sword. Each of the 6 Meridians Divine Sword has its own characteristics. Right thumb, Shaoshang sword. Characteristics: the sword moves vigorously, with a sense of shocking the world and a strong wind and rain. Right index finger, Shangyang sword. Characteristics: ingenious and flexible, unpredictable. Right middle finger, Zanchang sword. Characteristics: open and close, majestic and powerful. Right ring finger, Guanchang sword. Characteristics: winning with clumsy and simple style. Right pinky, Shaochang sword. Characteristics: light and agile. Left pinky, Shao sword. Characteristics: coming and going, with subtle changes. Shikamaru didn't want to kill Sasuke, but he didn't want to let Sasuke off so easily, so it was best to use the majestic Zanchang sword. This was definitely not Shikamaru's intention to insult Sasuke, absolutely not. Don't run. Facing Shikamaru's clever flash, Sasuke's eyes lit up. Sasuke naturally knew what kind of person he was facing. He didn't expect that in just a few days, even such a lazy guy could avoid his sneak attack. If he knew such a quick way to become stronger, he would never tell others so easily. The more Sasuke thought about it, the more he felt that these 3 people were playing tricks on him. So, although he was surprised that Shikamaru didn't fight back, but raised his middle finger to him, it didn't stop him from continuing to attack. At this moment, Shikamaru's middle finger moved horizontally, and the finger pointing at Sasuke suddenly emitted a white light. With a BIU sound, the light on the middle finger rushed towards Sasuke's left arm at an extremely fast speed. Faced with such an attack, Sasuke didn't react for a while, and was hit directly. He felt like he was hit hard by a fist, and the pain that was about to break his bones made him scream. He fell to the ground, and fell to the ground. Chapter 9, Sasuke arrives. Sasuke fell to the ground with a cry of pain. Seeing this, Ino was distressed, and ran to Sasuke to help him up. Shikamaru, you are too much. How could you use the 6 Meridians Divine Sword to attack Sasuke? After playing the game for so many days, the 3 of them naturally knew that these martial arts also have different levels. Just like ninjutsu also has S, A, B, C, D levels. The Sanfeng sword technique that Ino first practiced is the lowest level martial arts in the game. The 6 Meridians Divine Sword used by Shikamaru is the top martial arts. Using the top martial arts to attack a child who has not graduated from the ninja school is indeed too much to some extent. Who told him to sneak attack me just now? Shikamaru didn't like Sasuke. If it weren't for Ino, he would not have paid attention to Sasuke. But Sasuke wanted to sneak attack him just now. He didn't use the Shaoshang sword to make a hole in Sasuke's body, which was considered to be considering everyone's friendship as classmates. Let go, I don't need your hypocritical help. Sasuke stood up and shook off Ino, looking at Shikamaru with a face full of resentment. Sasuke, I think you need to calm down. Shikamaru and Ino didn't lie to you. Choji, who had been quiet all the time, felt that he couldn't go on like this. What if there was another conflict and Shikamaru beat Sasuke seriously? Sasuke's life or death had nothing to do with him. He was mainly afraid of affecting the relationship between the 3 of them. Shikamaru, Ino, let's go first. As long as Sasuke enters the internet cafe, he will naturally understand that we didn't lie to him. Ino, listen to Choji, let's leave first and let Sasuke find the truth himself. Ino was not an idiot. She naturally knew that Sasuke would not believe anything they said at this moment. Instead of doing this, it would be better to let Sasuke experience the magic of the internet cafe himself. Sasuke, I'll leave first. You have to believe me. I really didn't lie to you. After saying that, Ino looked at Sasuke reluctantly and left the alley with Shikamaru and Choji. Did I really misunderstand them? Watching the 3 people leave, Sasuke couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Forget it, why think so much? Just like they said, I just need to go to the store called Internet Cafe, and I will naturally know whether they are lying to me. Shaking his head, Sasuke covered his injured left arm and began to walk towards the Internet Cafe. Not long after walking, Sasuke arrived at the destination, and then he saw a young man lying on a chair with a tangled look on his face. That's right, until now Liang has not decided whether to go to Konoha or stay in the internet cafe. Maybe he was thinking too much. Even when Sasuke came to the door, Liang didn't notice him. Ahem, are you the owner of this internet cafe? Sasuke waited for a while and found that the hanged man didn't notice him at all. He couldn't help but pretend to cough to remind the boss that there was a living person here. Sorry, I was just thinking about a question. It's okay. Sasuke shook his head gently and continued, I heard that you can make people stronger here. Stronger? Hearing this, Liang knew that this kid must have been introduced by Ino and the other three, otherwise he wouldn't know that people can become stronger here. He looked up and down at the kid. Handsome face, cold appearance, and the round fan emblem of the Uchiha family on his clothes. You can tell at a glance that this guy must be Uchiha Sasuke. But it shouldn't be. Seeing Sasuke covering his left arm all the time, it is not difficult to find a thin layer of sweat on his forehead under Liang's careful observation. This is clearly a look of injury. At this age, who can beat Sasuke? Is it Xiaoli or Hyuga? Apart from these two people, Liang really can't think of any other peers who can hurt Sasuke. As for adults, well, adults shouldn't be so bored as to bully an orphan of Uchiha. No. In addition to the two peers mentioned above, there are Ino and the other three. These three people also have the ability to hurt Sasuke. Ino will definitely not fight with Sasuke. The one who fought is either Shikamaru or Choji. So, was your injury caused by Choji or Shikamaru? Sasuke was stunned. He didn't expect Liang to ask this question, but in order to become stronger, he could only answer honestly. It was Shikamaru. Is that so? Liang nodded. Thinking of Sasuke's bad personality, he could probably guess the general situation. You are really good. You actually forced such a lazy person to take action. In a way, you are also a talent. Hearing this, Sasuke gritted his teeth and didn't say anything. Okay, I can really become stronger here. Come in with me. After confirming his guess, Liang did not continue to ask, but took Sasuke into the internet cafe. To be honest, when Sasuke entered the internet cafe, he was actually quite disappointed. It's not Sasuke's fault. Anyone who sees this environment will be disappointed. Dilapidated walls, old cash registers, and even worse, there are spider webs in the corners. Don't think my place is shabby, but as long as you play for an hour, you will not want to leave here. Liang naturally saw Sasuke's disappointed look, so he spoke to Sasuke calmly on the surface to strengthen his confidence. But secretly he was roaring madly. Damn it, don't I want to work in a good environment? Why does everyone who comes in look disappointed? I'm really sorry that my place is so shabby. Liang swore that, as long as he had the authority, he would spend the money on decoration first, and decorate his place to be high-end and classy, so that people can't help but say fuck when they come in. Do you know how much I charge here? I don't know. Sasuke didn't know the charges here from Ino and the other two. He only knew that he could become stronger by spending money here. See the computer over there? That's the machine you use to become stronger. 10,000 teals for 1 hour of use. I'm telling you, even though my fees are expensive, you'll definitely get what you pay for. Before Liang could finish, he saw Sasuke take out two 10,000 teals bills from his pocket. Here, I hope you can really become stronger here. Don't worry, I'll definitely satisfy you. After receiving the money, Liang was very excited. He didn't care whether Sasuke had learned how to play the game from Ino or not. He just told Sasuke all at once. I'll tell you roughly how to play this game. Babbling. Just kidding. Sasuke is different from Ino's three poor bastards. His family has a large inheritance. Even if Konoha took back most of it and only left a small part for Sasuke, it would still be an astronomical figure for ordinary people. As long as Sasuke was fooled, the 1 million teal mission could be easily completed. In order to complete the task earlier, obtain more permissions earlier, and renovate this broken house earlier, it is no wonder that Liang is so attentive. By the way, can you tell me how Shikamaru hurt you? Shikamaru is very strong now, and Liang naturally knows it. He is very interested in how Shikamaru hurt Sasuke, so after introducing the situation of the game to Sasuke, he asked. But he didn't expect that an ordinary question would make Sasuke raise his middle finger to him. Fuck you, Sasuke, you are too much. Don't make me angry, and flip the table. Deg. Chapter 10 Mission completed and new missions. Sasuke didn't understand why Liang had such an annoyed expression. Looking at his own hand, he understood immediately. It must be because of this damned hand gesture. From Liang's expression, it was clear that this was not only an attacking move, but also an insulting move. After figuring this out, Sasuke quickly moved his raised middle finger horizontally and then pretended to be calm on the outside, but said in a panic, Shikamaru made this gesture, and then a white chakra came out from his finger, and it hit me with a BIU sound. Well, seeing that Sasuke didn't understand what this gesture meant, Liang generously forgave Sasuke. This was definitely not because Sasuke was a big customer. Absolutely not. Okay, I get it. You should enter the game quickly. Originally, Sasuke wanted to ask Liang if there was a first aid kit here. He wanted to bandage his injured left arm first. But Liang didn't give Sasuke a chance at all and directly urged him to enter the game. In order to become stronger quickly, he decided to endure this pain. Because Shikamaru and others did not tell Sasuke the game strategy, Sasuke was no different from the average newbie after entering the game. Fortunately, Liang was a kind man. After giving Sasuke some reminders, he successfully got the secret book of Matsuke's swordsmanship. Is this the swordsmanship that Ino used at the beginning? Feeling the sword moves from his mind, Sasuke felt that the Matsuke's swordsmanship seemed nothing special after the initial shock. That is, this move is more exquisite than the swordsmanship of the ninja world, but other aspects are far from good, such as the destructive power of the moves. This is called the difficult ones don't know, and the ones who know are not difficult. After learning Matsuke's swordsmanship, Sasuke also had a certain understanding of this martial arts. After being beaten by Shikamaru, he speculated that the level of Matsuke's swordsmanship should not be too high. Therefore, a mere Matsuke's swordsmanship naturally could not meet Sasuke's needs. After getting familiar with the game, Sasuke, like Ino at the beginning, began to frantically search through boxes and cabinets for various martial arts secrets. Unlike Ino, Sasuke also paid attention to the plot in the game while searching for cheats. Sasuke's way of playing the game gave Liang the feeling that he was a combination of Ino and Shikamaru. He wanted to grasp both the search and the plot, and he wanted to do both well. As for the guy like Choji who turned the martial arts game into a food game, you should just quit the group. 2 hours later, Sasuke got off the plane smoothly. Boss, I'll come back tomorrow. Don't you want to continue playing? Liang was a little surprised to hear Sasuke say he didn't want to play anymore. He knew that Sasuke at this time had a crazy pursuit of becoming stronger. The shortcut to becoming stronger was right in front of him, but he could resist playing. In fact, Sasuke didn't want to continue playing, but he didn't have the money to get on the plane now. Even if the Uchiha family left him a lot of property, it didn't mean that he would carry hundreds of thousands of taels with him every day. Today, carrying 20,000 taels was considered a lot. Usually, he would only carry a few thousand taels. Boss, I have a question. I don't know if I should ask it or not. In that case, then don't ask it. Sasuke. Haha, I'm just kidding. Just ask if you have any questions. At this moment, Sasuke suddenly wondered if there was something wrong with this boss. Is it fun to play tricks on people like this? Do you know? You will be beaten if you do this outside. After taking a deep breath and calming down the urge to hit someone, Sasuke said, Boss, you also know that my left arm is injured, but in the game, I can't feel my injury. I thought it was something else, but it turned out to be this. Let me tell you, this problem is actually simple. Oh. Sasuke pretended to listen attentively. That means I don't know either. Sasuke, backquote, Boss, I'm leaving first. Goodbye. Sasuke didn't want to stay here any longer, otherwise he was afraid that he would be unable to resist the urge to kill this hateful boss. Seeing Sasuke leaving, Liang felt very wronged. I really don't know. How can an ordinary person like me know about this kind of black technology? Shaking his head, Liang stopped struggling and opened the system. Looking at the turnover of 150,000 taels, Liang nodded with satisfaction. 150,000 taels. The task completion rate has exceeded 1/10. At this rate, the task should be completed before Ino and the others graduate. Liang has talked with Ino and the others these days, and knows that they will graduate in a month. In a month, even if he does not add new customers, he can complete the task with Sasuke and Ino and the others. Moreover, how can there not be new users in a month? Sasuke has become stronger. Will Sakura, who has always liked him, notice it? After noticing it, will she be curious and secretly follow Sasuke? Sakura is here. Will Naruto, who has always liked her, come? Naruto is here. Will Hinata and Kiba come? Kiba is here. Will Shino come? As far as Liang knows, this 1-to-1 approach is very likely to happen. When the time comes, I will just wait for the system to be upgraded. Things are just as Liang expected. When Sasuke secretly sparred with Shikamaru and was seen by Sakura, Sakura secretly followed Sasuke to the internet cafe the next day. Unfortunately, Sakura's situation is not comparable to these people. She was born in a commoner family, and her usual pocket money is only a few hundred taels. It takes her more than 10 days to save up 10,000 taels. Naruto is also a poor guy, and he is the kind of poor who can't afford to eat. His situation is worse than Sakura. Sakura can play for an hour every 10 days, but for Naruto, if there is no help from others, it is estimated that he can't play once a month. Fortunately, there is the little angel Hinata. With the help of Hinata, Naruto can go online once every 3 to 5 days. Although because of his own IQ, he certainly won't gain as much as the others, but in general, his strength will definitely be much stronger than his at the same time in the original work. Among the 12 Konohas are Liang, except Feniji, Tenten, and Zyoli, the other 9 have become his customers, and have become much stronger by playing games. As for how the plot will develop in the future, Liang is very interested. On this day, 10 days before Ino and the others graduated, Liang finally completed the task. The total turnover of the internet cafe reached 1 million taels. Completion reward, Jin Young's novels and films, 3 sets of supporting computers. The task reward will be issued after the store closes. New task, the total turnover of the internet cafe reaches 5 million taels. Task progress. 100 over 500 task reward. Choose one of 3 standalone games, 6 sets of supporting computers, and the boss's authority is upgraded. Chapter 11, Naruto in Distress. The new task requires a total turnover of 5 million taels. He thought that this task would require 10 million taels. The amount of the task is only half of what was expected, which is a pleasant surprise. But the reward of the task made him brighten up. The distribution of computer games is not decided by the system, but by him. Although it is only 1 out of 3, it also enhances his autonomy. In this way, the probability of getting a rubbish game is reduced a lot, unless all 3 games are rip-offs. There is nothing to say about the matching computer. This is the basis. Liang estimates that there will be this reward for every task. As for the increase in authority, it is incredible. Now Liang is more like a network administrator than the owner of the internet cafe. In addition to collecting money, he does not even have the ability to control this money. Oh, it cannot be said that he does not have it. He can also use this money to buy some daily necessities in the system mall. Apart from this, he can't do anything else. Now it's good. He has always wanted to decorate this internet cafe so that others will not think it is very low. If you want to decorate the internet cafe, you must increase your authority. This is simply a pillow that comes when you want to sleep. I don't know to what extent this authority will be upgraded. I hope to open the decoration authority. After completing the task of 1 million taels of turnover, 3 supporting computers were added. Now the internet cafe has a total of 6 computers, which finally looks like a computer room. Boss, what is this Jin Young novels and TV series? In the afternoon, after the ninja school was over, the 9 little strong men came to Liang together. The little guys didn't ask much about the 3 new computers, but the new movie and TV series in the computer caught Shikamaru's attention. Hearing this, Liang did not answer directly, but prompted, think about it, what is the name of the game you play? Jinyang Guangshizhuan. After saying this, Shikamaru suddenly realized it. He first looked at the name of the TV series, and then looked at the name of the game. Could it be? That's right. Liang nodded and confirmed Shikamaru's idea. The heavenly books you collected in the game are actually novels generated by the game plot, and these TV series are adapted from these novels. So, before Liang finished speaking, Sasuke on the side said, so, as long as we watch these TV series, we can collect heavenly books more easily? Yes, that's it. In addition to these, does this TV series have other functions? Except for Shikamaru, everyone else is quite satisfied with watching TV to understand the plot and collect game clues, especially the stupid Naruto. Even Choji has completed 2 heavenly books, but he has not completed any heavenly books. With this TV series, Naruto can better collect heavenly books and learn some powerful martial arts. But Shikamaru is different from them. Shikamaru plays this game mainly to decipher, through some plot clues in the game, he can complete the tasks assigned by the NPC and complete the game's strategy. In his opinion, this way of using the brain is the essence of playing games. If you watch TV, you don't have to use your brain, just follow the clues in the TV and push it without thinking. What's the fun of playing games like this? Therefore, he was eager to know what other functions this TV would have besides being a game strategy guide. Haha, you will know when the time comes. I dare say you will never be disappointed. Hearing Liang's promise, the little guys all became interested. The 6 people on the computer immediately opened the TV series collection and chose the one they were most interested in from the 14 TV series. Please choose the viewing mode. 1. Normal mode. 2. Immersive mode. Can I choose immersive mode when watching TV? Seeing this choice, the little guys all showed happy smiles on their faces. After all, the power of immersive mode has been fully demonstrated to them through the game. What will happen if this powerful mode is used to watch TV? Of course, the 6 people chose the immersive mode and entered the wonderful TV series. In fact, before the 9 little strong men came, Liang had already taken the lead in experiencing watching TV in immersive mode. Different from games. In games, players can directly control the characters in the game. However, in the TV series, although players cannot control the characters, they can choose characters in the play to possess, just like possessing an old man, and watch the possessed people's every move close up. Through possession, players can also perceive the various emotions and some inner thoughts of the possessed characters, and in the fight, they can also increase their understanding of the possessed person's martial arts. In this way, Liang believes that the 9 little strong men will accumulate a lot of experience and grow up quickly. 6 of the 9 little strong men are watching TV on the computer, and the remaining 3 people, Naruto, Sakura, and Hinata, are not idle. Sakura has been standing behind Sasuke, carefully watching the shy and Liang babu playing on the computer. Hinata didn't look at the computer, but stood aside, playing with her fingers, silently paying attention to Naruto. On the contrary, Naruto, because he has become stronger after learning martial arts, has been clamoring to fight with the other little strong men. But these people have already discussed that, if it is not necessary, they should try to avoid fighting with each other to avoid increasing the chance of being discovered. This proposal was made by Shikamaru. This kind of martial arts is completely out of the style of the ninja world. It might be understandable if 1 or 2 appeared, but all 9 of them learned this martial arts. The appearance of a large number of martial arts that do not conform to the style of the ninja world will definitely attract some people's attention. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble, Shikamaru made this suggestion. Fortunately, everyone is not stupid, except Naruto, and they all know that they will definitely cause some trouble after being exposed, so they all agreed to Shikamaru's proposal. Therefore, except for the time when Ino used the Matsuke swordsmanship when fighting Sakura at school, and Sasuke privately sought revenge from Shikamaru, no one fought again. This made Naruto very distressed. For reasons that everyone knows, Naruto has a personality that likes to show off. Now he has become much stronger, but he is not allowed to show his martial arts in front of outsiders. How can he bear this? So every time he comes to the internet cafe, he wants to fight with Liang. Naruto's idea is very simple. Since he is not allowed to expose his martial arts, then fighting with Liang is the best solution. First of all, this place is remote, and there are basically no people here except for them. Secondly, Liang is the boss here, and he learned martial arts here, so what does it matter whether it is exposed or not? Chapter 12. I think you are making things difficult for me, Uzumaki Naruto. Liang didn't even bother to answer Naruto's request. Fight? Where? Internet cafe. Don't be ridiculous. Although the space in the internet cafe is relatively spacious, there is only about 10 square meters of free space, which is not enough for fighting. Then go outside? If we fight outside, won't there be a risk of exposing our martial arts? Well, even if there is no one outside, it won't be exposed. But with Naruto's strength, Liang can't even muster the slightest interest in him. Fight with Naruto? Then he might as well enter the game and fight those top NPCs. Liang has already practiced all kinds of top martial arts, whether it is external, internal or light, to the maximum level, while Naruto is just a novice. Using the game characters as an analogy, Liang can be regarded as the middle supernatural power in the Legend of the Condor Heroes, while Naruto is only at the level of the 7 Freaks of Jiangnan. The combat power of the two is not comparable at all. Although Liang deserves a beating, he doesn't have the bad taste of beating children. What's more, there is a 9-tailed fox living in Naruto's body. What if Naruto refuses to admit defeat and releases the 9-tailed fox? Will his internet cafe still be open? Once the 9-tailed fox is exposed, Liang will be in great trouble. Apart from anything else, what if Sarutobi Hiruzen announces the closure of this alley? At this stage, Liang does not have the ability to fight the third Hokage. So, no matter what, Liang will not fight Naruto. Uncle, you are not afraid of losing, are you? Facing the stubborn Liang, Naruto's brain suddenly became active, and he knew to use provocation. Provocation doesn't work on me. Liang rolled his eyes at Naruto. It is estimated that only the second pillar would be fooled by this level of provocation. What's useful or useless? I don't understand what you're talking about. In my opinion, you're just afraid of losing to me, the future Hokage. How about this, uncle? As long as you admit that you can't beat the future Hokage Naruto, then I'll let you go. Looking at the arrogant Naruto, Liang was helpless. Well, don't say I don't give you a chance. As long as you answer a few questions I asked correctly, then I'll reluctantly fight you once. Really? Haha, who doesn't know that my words are as good as gold? Well, ask, and when I answer correctly, you can fight me. After receiving Liang's reply, Naruto has begun to rub his hands and can't wait to have a good fight with his boss. Seeing Naruto's excitement, Liang smiled slightly. Naruto, listen carefully. How many heads does a cow have? 1. How many hooves does it have? 4. Uncle, these questions are too simple. Are there any slightly more difficult ones? Obviously, Naruto, who answered 2 questions correctly in a row, was inflated and directly asked Liang to increase the difficulty. Well, this is what you said about a cow having 1 head and 4 hooves. So how many hairs does it have? Uncle, you. Naruto's eyes widened. He had never thought that this question could be asked like this. You can't answer it, right? Are you kidding? I'm a grown man, and I can't fool a hot-blooded idiot. Since you can't answer it, then the duel is. Wait, I thought of it. Just when Liang was about to announce the cancellation of the duel, Naruto suddenly shouted and said, a cow has a body of hair. Wow, not bad, you got it right. Liang was surprised. He didn't expect Naruto to be able to answer such a brain teaser. It's a piece of cake. It's mainly because I'm too smart. Uncle, continue. Do you have any more difficult questions? Haha, if I didn't know what kind of person you are, I would have almost believed it. What? Why? Obviously, facing the new question, Naruto, who was happy just now, didn't react for a while. A cow has 1 head, 4 hooves, and a body of hair, so why? Why? How do I know why? Hearing this question, Naruto was almost crazy. What does he care about what you said about a cow? How can he know so many whys? I think you, the internet cafe owner with thick eyebrows and big eyes, are making things difficult for me, Uzumaki Naruto. That's right, Liang is making things difficult for Naruto. There is no way he doesn't want to fight with Naruto, and Naruto is so shameless, so he will resort to this last resort. You can't answer it. After a long time, Naruto didn't think of an answer, so he had to give up answering helplessly. Looking at Naruto with a lost face, Liang was in a good mood. At this moment, he could understand the happiness of those people with bad tastes. It turns out that bullying children feels so pleasant. It should be feeding grass. Just when Naruto was lost and Liang was happy, Hinata on the side whispered the answer. After hearing the correct answer, Liang gave Hinata a thumbs up and said, "That's right, it's feeding grass." What? There's actually such a saying. Of course there is such a saying. Didn't you see that I typed it in Pinyin, not Chinese characters? Fuck Pinyin. I think you are just making things difficult for Uzumaki Naruto. I can't stand it anymore. After taking one move, I'll use the powerful Vajra Palm. Naruto finally couldn't stand Liang's shamelessness and used a palm towards him. A trifle trick. Facing Naruto's powerful Vajra Palm, Liang didn't care at all. He dodged his attack perfectly with a flash, and then used the small range teleportation ability of Lingbo Ibu to move around Naruto frantically. Naruto was completely confused by this kind of crazy movement. All he could see was Liang's afterimage. He had no target to attack. What kind of martial arts is this? This is called the soul transfer technique. When used deeply, it can make the target dizzy and dazed, and feel like they are flying to the sky. Very powerful. Naruto-kun, the boss should be using the Lingbo Ibu. Seeing that Naruto was about to be fooled by the boss, it was the kind-hearted Hinata who spoke up and reminded Naruto. "Damn uncle, you lied to me again." "Haha, who told you to be so stupid? But I didn't lie to you about this function. Do you feel a little dizzy now?" "Well, I do feel a little dizzy." What a powerful soul transfer technique. The soul transfer technique is good, but it has a side effect. This thing can not only make the enemy dizzy, but most importantly, it can also make yourself dizzy. Liang has been spinning for a minute now. Fortunately, he has a deep skill, so he didn't vomit like Liu Yida in the Royal Cop 007. But at this time, he has almost reached his limit. While Naruto is already dizzy, he thinks it's time to end the battle. Sure, he did it as soon as he thought of it. Liang stepped lightly and moved around behind Naruto. Before Naruto could react, he bent his legs into a half squat position and put his hands together to form a tiger seal. Hinata was not a poor student like Naruto. She knew that the tiger seal was the starting move of the fire escape technique. She subconsciously thought that the boss might use the fire escape technique on Naruto, so she was scared and quickly reminded Naruto. "Naruto, watch out behind you." Too late. At this moment, Liang accelerated, and the tiger seal directly inserted into the weakest part of Naruto's chakra. "Let me show you in advance the secret of Konohagaku's physical technique. 1,000 years of killing." Backquote. Naruto, pounds, gay. Chapter 13. The beginning of the story. I did it after all. Shaking his head, Liang took out a handkerchief from somewhere, wiped his fingers, and then looked up at the sky, ceiling, at a 45-degree angle, showing a look of compassion, showing his pretentiousness. "It hurts." At this time, Naruto fell directly to the ground, with a face full of pain. "Naruto-kun." Seeing that Naruto was injured, Hinata was no longer shy, and hurried to Naruto, and looked at him with concern. "Don't worry, Naruto is fine." With Naruto's physique, he was directly beaten into a serious injury. I believe it will heal automatically in a short time, not to mention the mere 1,000-year killing. "Naruto-kun, are you okay?" "Don't worry Hinata, I'm fine." Naruto is still very manly. Even if he is in pain now, he still wants to show a real man, cute big boobs attitude in front of the girl. "But, your painful look is not convincing at all. Are you showing off your love? Showing affection? Shit, quickly, damn it." After secretly complaining, Liang decided to ignore the two. He went directly to the bathroom, washed his hands, and then threw the handkerchief he had just used to wipe his hands into the toilet, and flushed it away. It's better not to leave such poisonous things in the world. Thinking about his actions just now, he regretted it. "I must have lost my mind. I actually went to wipe Naruto's ass." This is a complete black history. For the carrier of such a black history, the handkerchief must be destroyed. But I don't know if Naruto will fall for Kakashi's tricks in the future. The same tricks, the same bitterness. I hope Naruto won't cry when the time comes. Time passed in a flash, and in a blink of an eye it was time for Zyuki Yang's graduation exam. Like the original book, the graduation exam was still about the art of clones. Because of the internet cafe, Naruto has not only practiced martial arts successfully, but also gained a lot of experience. He witnessed the heroic and invincible heroism of Kaofeng, and also witnessed the sadness of Xiaofeng's demise. He witnessed Ling Huchang's carefree life, and felt the loneliness of Yu Buquan's death. In general, Naruto at this time is not only much stronger than in the original work, but also has a more mature personality. But this does not mean that Naruto can use chakra skillfully. In the exam, because of the Ninetales chakra, Naruto still failed to perfectly split his clones in the exam, and was judged as failing by Haruka. As the sun set, Naruto sat on the swing at the edge of the playground with a look of loss, watching the parents of other classmates come to pick them up home with envy. Whether this is the disappointment of failing the exam or the sadness of thinking that he has no parents, only Naruto knows. Naruto, so you are here. At this time, a man with medium-length silver white hair and a gentle smile on his face came to Naruto. From what he said, he seemed to have been looking for Naruto for a long time. Ah, it's Teacher Mizuki. That's right, the person who came was Mizuki, Naruto's early training monster in the original work. Naruto, are you still upset about failing the exam? Upset? I think it's okay. Although he said so, his disappointed expression could not be faked. Naruto, I hope you can understand that Haruka-sensei is not deliberately making things difficult for you. Yeah, I understand. Naruto didn't understand before, but now he understands a little bit. Ninja is a cruel profession. Those who are not strong enough can easily die on the battlefield. As a teacher in a ninja school, Haruka's conscientious teaching method is completely for the good of these students. Hearing Naruto's sensible answer, Shumu was a little confused. What's going on? This idiot actually said he understood. You don't understand a hammer. I prepared so many words for you later, and now they are all ruined by you. What? You don't follow the routine like this, you will easily get beaten. It's good that you understand. Yeah. Shumu's forehead veins bulged. He didn't understand why Naruto, who looked like a hot-blooded idiot some time ago, was so sensible today. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. The atmosphere became awkward. We can't go on like this. If we stay here for too long, we'll probably arouse suspicion from others. Few people in the ninja world know about Jinchuriki, let alone Mizuki, who is just a chunin. He only knows the news spread by the village, saying that Naruto is the reincarnation of a fox demon. Most people won't get close to Naruto like this. As a teacher in a ninja school, it's okay to comfort his students, but if time goes on, it will inevitably attract other people's attention. This is inconsistent with his plan. In fact, as the Jinchuriki of the Ninetales, Naruto is followed and protected by the Enbu. When Naruto went to the internet cafe for the first time, the Enbu had already reported it to Sarutobi Hiruzen. The third Hokage made arrangements immediately after hearing this. He asked Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji, who were also customers of the internet cafe, and learned that the internet cafe was a place to play games. He didn't know that Shikamaru and the other two had already agreed on a common caliber, and they must not let others know the magic of the internet cafe, especially the Hokage. But Shikamaru also understood that the magic of the internet cafe would not be concealed for long, but it would be better to hide it for a while. Just like that, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave up directly testing the internet cafe. After all, in his opinion, the internet cafe was a place for these classmates to play, and there was no need to pay attention to it. In order not to be suspected, Mizuki had no choice but to bite the bullet and continue to ask, Naruto, do you still want to graduate? Of course I want to graduate. Is that so? Then I will tell you a way to graduate without passing the exam. Is that so? That's great. Hearing that he could still graduate, Naruto jumped up happily on the surface. Secretly, Naruto was more vigilant. Usually, Mizuki's attitude towards him was just average, but now he came to comfort him for no reason, and told him that there were other ways to graduate. There is a saying in the game that goes, if you are too attentive without any reason, you are either a traitor or a thief. Another way to graduate is to keep talking. Sure enough, after listening to Mizuki's method, Naruto knew that this guy was playing him for a fool. Steal the Book of Seals? Although Naruto didn't know what the sealed book was, he knew that stealing was not a good habit. It seems that Mizuki-sensei's goal is the sealed book. However, can a mere ninja school student like me steal something that even the ninja school teachers can't get? If I can steal it, it means that this thing is not important. If it is not important, why did Mizuki-sensei ask me to steal it? If this thing is important, asking me to steal it is like asking me to die. Naruto is still a child after all. At this moment, he really wants someone to discuss with him what to do next. Should he accept Mizuki's suggestion to steal things? Or should he go directly to the third generation grandfather and report Mizuki? What should I do? Apostrophe. Chapter 14 Liang's opinion. Teacher Mizuki, is this true? As long as I get the Book of Seals, I can graduate smoothly? The current situation does not allow Naruto to think more. He can only pretend to agree first. Of course, how could a teacher lie to you? Okay, I will take out the Book of Seals tonight. Hearing Naruto agree, Mizuki was relieved. He was afraid that Naruto would have a brain spasm and directly refuse him. If that was the case, then in order not to expose his ambition, he would have to find an opportunity to kill Naruto. Fortunately, Naruto is still the same Naruto, a hot-blooded idiot, who actually agreed to steal the Book of Seals in order to graduate. Then we have a deal. Okay, Teacher Mizuki. Looking at Mizuki's leaving back, Naruto thought seriously for a while, and then he decided to go to Liang to discuss what to do next. As for why he didn't go to the third Hokage, because Naruto has now noticed something wrong. Think about it. In such a big village, why is everyone targeting him? When he was isolated and helpless, a grandfather named the third Hokage who cared about him happened to appear. Is it really such a coincidence? Naruto may not have figured it out yet, but this does not prevent him from being suspicious. Therefore, compared to the suspicious third Hokage, he decided to consult Liang. Although Liang is a hateful and shameless person, he likes to play tricks on him when he has nothing to do. But Liang did one thing very well, that is, he treats everyone equally. Naruto felt that Liang did not refuse him to play games, just because he was the reincarnation of a fox demon. On the contrary, he did not show any disgust in the process of getting along. Sometimes when he saw Naruto was lonely, he would play with him. Although Naruto was always the one being played, this did not affect Liang's position in his heart. Stinky uncle, I'm here. Huh, I thought you wouldn't come today. What do you mean? Naruto was a little surprised to hear Liang's answer. He and his friends come here every day. Why would this stinky uncle think he wouldn't come today? Didn't your school hold the graduation exam today? How did you know that, uncle? Hearing Naruto's question, Liang pouted. Naruto looked in the direction and found that Sasuke had arrived at the internet cafe a few steps ahead of him and was wearing a helmet and watching a TV series. Did Sasuke say that? Yes. Liang nodded and thought to himself, not only do I know that you didn't pass the exam, I also know that, if nothing unexpected happens, you will steal the Book of Seals tonight. Since he knew that Naruto would steal the Book of Seals, he naturally didn't have time to come. So, why did Naruto come at this time? Could it be that Mizuki didn't find Naruto? Has the plot changed? Just when Liang was wondering if the plot had changed, Naruto showed a shy look and said, Uncle, I have something to discuss with you. You want to discuss something with me? That's really strange. Naruto usually has nothing to do, and even if he has something to do, he will keep it secret and not let others know. There is no way. The heart of a young man is always fragile. He is afraid of being hurt, so naturally he will not discuss anything with anyone. If you think about it this way, if Naruto comes to me to discuss things now, can it be said that he has already regarded me as an important person? Thinking of this, Liang looked at Naruto with a complicated look in his eyes. Liang naturally did not dislike Naruto, who had a tragic experience. When he watched the anime, He liked Naruto's confident and optimistic personality. Therefore, when Naruto came to the internet cafe, he would play with Naruto from time to time, so that he would not feel lonely when he could not use the computer. Well, although Naruto was the one who was fooled, it was not important. The important thing was that he actually had such a position in Naruto's heart, so his mood was a little complicated for a while. Uncle, let me tell you, I didn't pass the exam, and Iruka-sensei wouldn't let me graduate. Well, then what? Then, Mizuki-sensei found me and told me there was another way to graduate. So, he asked you to steal the Book of Seals? Hey? How did you know that, Uncle? Don't worry about how I know that. Let me ask you first, what is your own answer? Hearing this, Naruto looked at Liang with a distressed look and said, I just don't know what to do, so I came to discuss it with you, Uncle. Is that so? Let me think about it first. After saying that, Liang began to ponder. In his opinion, stealing the Book of Seals has both advantages and disadvantages. From the original work, we can know that this so-called Book of Seals is actually not an authentic version at all. It is a special customized version for Naruto. The authentic Book of Seals cannot be stolen quietly by an elite ninja like Kakashi, let alone the current Naruto. Moreover, when Naruto stole the book, Liang knew that Naruto's every move was under the surveillance of Sarutobi Hiruzen. In this case, Sarutobi Hiruzen will also be able to see clearly through his peeping technique the situation of Naruto's fight with Mizuki later. In this way, Naruto's martial arts will definitely be exposed, and the third Hokage will find him here in the internet cafe. But if he wants Naruto not to go, Liang feels selfish. The shadow clone ninjutsu is a very important cheat for Naruto. Those who have read the original work know that after the clone created by the shadow clone is released, the clone's memory and experience will return to the original body together. In other words, using the shadow clone can speed up the practice of ninjutsu and increase the experience of fighting against the enemy. In the original work, Naruto can only use the pants escape, take the kidney and liver in the subsequent pants escape. Take the kidney and liver, Senjutsu, ITM take the kidney and liver, pants escape, take the kidney and handkin and a series of Rasengan type wind escape ninjutsu smoothly, after creating a shadow clone. It can be said that the shadow clone technique is a very important ninjutsu for Naruto. If you agree to go, you will have to bear the risk of exposing your martial arts. If he doesn't agree to go, then he doesn't know if Naruto will have a chance to learn the shadow clone technique in the future. Thinking of this, Liang glanced at the computer next to him. Even if Naruto doesn't learn the shadow clone technique, with the help of the games here, he will become a top master. Of course, this requires money. Does Naruto have money? Of course not. So from the bottom of his heart, Liang agreed to let Naruto steal books. Naruto, let me analyze it for you first, and then you decide whether to go or not. Yeah, Uncle, please tell me. I won't tell you other things. I will only tell you the result. You may learn a super powerful ninjutsu by stealing books. This ninjutsu is extremely important for your future ninja career. It is a necessary ninjutsu for you to enhance your strength and become a powerful ninja. What if you don't steal books? My place can also be a channel for you to become stronger. I believe that the martial arts and skills in the game are definitely not worse than those ninjutsu. But you know, playing games here costs money. Do you still have money? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 Naruto, I feel insulted. After listening to Liang's words, Naruto did not ask him why he knew that he could learn powerful ninjutsu after stealing books. He only knew that if he did not steal books to become stronger, his dream of becoming a Hokage would be farther and farther away from him. Damn it, why am I so poor? TT. At this moment, Liang seemed to shed tears of poverty for Naruto. Okay, I have said what I should say, and now it depends on your choice. Patting Naruto on the shoulder, Liang walked away, giving Naruto a space to be alone and let him think carefully. Of course, if nothing unexpected happens, Naruto will definitely choose to steal books. On the one hand, it is for his dream. On the other hand, who said he was poor? Uncle, I have decided, I'm going to steal books. Sure enough, Naruto made a decision without letting Liang wait too long. Come on, I believe in you. Well, I will work hard. Naruto left, and he never doubted Liang's words from beginning to end. Liang said that stealing books can allow him to learn a super powerful ninjutsu, so he will definitely be able to successfully steal the book and learn the ninjutsu. As for why Naruto believed Liang's words so much, mostly because of trust. Because of trust, Naruto consulted with Liang. And because of trust, Naruto believed Liang's words unconditionally. Facts will prove that Liang did not fool him, and the shadow clone technique is indeed a powerful ninjutsu. Next, just wait for trouble to come. After leaving the internet cafe, Naruto first returned to his room and made himself a bowl of instant noodles. While eating noodles, Naruto's mind kept simulating the possible situations that might happen when stealing books. However, when he thought he had thought of all the possibilities, what happened next still made him look confused. What's going on? There is no one guarding here? When he came to the place where the book was stolen, Naruto found that there was no one guarding here. For a moment, he thought he had gone to the wrong place. Do you want to be so frivolous? In Naruto's opinion, since there is something that even Mizuki covets here, it should be guarded by someone at least, not to mention how strict the security should be. The reality is that there are no ninja guards here, and the door that should have been closed has a gap, which seems to say, the door is not locked, come in and play. If it weren't for the ninjutsu that the uncle mentioned, who would fall for such an obvious trap? After muttering to himself, Naruto still gently pushed open the door and walked in. After entering the room, Naruto couldn't help but twitch his mouth. He felt insulted because the target of his trip, the Book of Seals, was hanging not far from him. It's called a book, but it's actually an enlarged scroll. Maybe because they were afraid that Naruto didn't know the difference between a book and a scroll. The people who arranged this place hung a banner above this large scroll with the 4 big characters Book of Seals, and also added a symbol very considerately. How stupid am I in your eyes? If the uncle hadn't said it so seriously, I really wouldn't want to take it. That's right, it's taking, not stealing. In this case, saying stealing is simply an insult to the word stealing. But it's hard for them to do this. After sighing, Naruto had no choice but to take down the sealed book, and then quickly left the place and headed in the direction agreed with Mizuki. In the original work, Naruto, who stole the sealed book, arrived at the agreed place, and found that Mizuki had not come yet, so he opened the sealed book to read. Now Naruto, because of Liang's spoilers in advance, and because he learned the divine movement, he opened the sealed book directly while walking, and read the ninjutsu inside. What is the ninjutsu that uncle is talking about? This multiple shadow clone jutsu? The clone jutsu is my worst ninjutsu. Although he said so, Naruto still carefully memorized the multiple shadow clone jutsu. When he thought he had memorized the practice method of the multiple shadow clone jutsu, he further opened the sealed book to see if there were any other ninjutsu inside. Sure enough, this sealed book is prepared for me. Why did Naruto say that? Because in this large scroll, except for the first multiple shadow clone technique, the rest of the scroll is full of ambiguous words, and it is obvious that it is used to fool a poor student like Naruto. Okay, you win. After reading the Book of Seals, Naruto resisted the urge to hit people and restored the large scroll to its original state. Now I'm waiting for Teacher Mizuki. Teacher, please don't let me down. Arriving at the agreed place, Naruto calmed down while waiting for Mizuki to arrive. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Why did you steal the Book of Seals? After a while, Naruto heard someone calling him, looked up, and found that the person who came was not Mizuki, but Iruka. Teacher Iruka, why are you here? Naruto really didn't expect Iruka to come here. Originally, he had thought well, waiting for Mizuki to come, first to trick him, and then to teach Mizuki a lesson, so that Mizuki would know that he, Uzumaki Naruto, was not easy to fool. Why didn't Mr. Mizuki come? Mizuki? Why would he come here? Huh? Naruto was surprised. He thought Iruka was in the same group with Mizuki. After all, this place is very remote. Most people would only come here if they were bored. So is Iruka the kind of person who is bored? Things were a little beyond Naruto's expectations, so he decided to continue testing. Mizuki said that, as long as I stole the Book of Seals and gave it to him, he would let Mr. Iruka agree to let me graduate. What? Mizuki asked you to do this? After seeing Iruka's surprised expression, Naruto felt that Iruka should not be Mizuki's accomplice. Don't say anything for now. The Hokage has already known about your theft of the Book of Seals. Now he has sent a large number of ninjas to find you. Come with me to the Hokage and explain it clearly. As long as you explain it clearly, I believe you will be fine. Did the third Hokage already know? After hearing this news, Naruto's face sank. He probably understood what Mizuki meant. Make a big deal about my theft of the Book of Seals, and then kill me secretly, so that I can die without any evidence. When everyone thought that I stole the Book of Seals and defected, they didn't know that Mizuki was the winner behind the scenes. But that's not right. If you think so, what's the matter with this fake Book of Seals? And that arrangement, that is obviously a trick. Could it be that all of Mizuki's actions were seen by Grandpa Hokage? Otherwise, how to explain all this? It must be said that the current Naruto is much smarter than he was in the original book. He found the key to the problem after a little thought. Chapter 16, Mizuki's Collapse. The more Naruto thought about it, the more he felt that there was something wrong. Since Grandpa Hokage already knew the cause of this incident, why did he cooperate with me while arresting me with great fanfare? Is he acting? Then who is he acting for? Is it himself, or the ninjas in the village? Swish! Just as Naruto was thinking seriously, 3 Kune suddenly flew out of the bushes next to him. Be careful. Iruka was afraid that Naruto would get hurt, so he took a step forward and used his back to block the attack for Naruto. Teacher Iruka, you. Seeing Iruka get hurt to protect him, Naruto seemed very moved. Really, what a touching teacher-student relationship. Clapping his hands, Mizuki slowly walked out of the bushes with a sinister smile on his face. Mizuki, what do you want to do? Iruka stood up with difficulty, protected Naruto behind him, and asked Mizuki angrily, what do I want to do? Isn't it obvious? Obviously, Mizuki didn't take the two seriously, and his eyes were full of teasing at this time. That's right. In Mizuki's eyes, Iruka was a waste. In terms of strength, he was at best an elite genin. If it weren't for his talent in teaching, he wanted to become a chunin. That was simply a dream. As for Naruto, is it necessary to be afraid of a kid who can't even use the clone technique properly? Naruto, I will hold Mizuki for a while. You take this opportunity to escape quickly. Teacher Iruka, you. Mizuki is only a chunin, and the teacher is also a chunin, so the teacher will be fine. Teacher Iruka, that's enough. Actually, Naruto probably knew Iruka's strength, or he could roughly imagine the strength of the teachers in the ninja school. If these teachers were really strong, they would not be sent to the school to teach. What's more, Iruka was injured again, and he would definitely not be Mizuki's opponent. So, Naruto originally wanted to say that he would deal with Mizuki. As a result, before he finished speaking, Mizuki shouted loudly, "Want to run? No way." After saying that, Mizuki took off the large shuriken on his back and threw it directly at Naruto and Iruka. Facing the large shuriken, Iruka jumped hard and barely avoided the attack. Oh no. After he dodged the attack, he realized that Naruto was behind him. Thinking of this, he quickly turned his head and saw a scene that surprised him. What? In his sight, Naruto stood in place, holding the large shuriken that attacked them in his hand, looking at Mizuki with a serious face. Naruto, you. Iruka was puzzled. Even in his prime, he didn't dare to catch such a large shuriken with his bare hands. Unexpectedly, Naruto, a student who was judged by him to have failed the exam, actually caught this large shuriken with his bare hands. Teacher Iruka, it's up to me next. He smiled at Iruka, and then Naruto threw his right hand. Give it back to you. The large shuriken followed the direction it came from, and attacked Mizuki again. Just as Naruto expected, the teacher of the ninja school was really not that strong. Facing the attack of his own shuriken, Mizuki made the same choice as Iruka, and dodged it directly. This brat. Mizuki was very shocked that Naruto could catch his large shuriken with his bare hands. But now he had no time to be shocked, because Naruto rushed directly at him. Die, Mizuki. Dragon Elephant Prajna-kun. Dragon Elephant Prajna-kun. It is said that every time you practice a level of Dragon Elephant Prajna-kun, you will gain the power of a dragon and an elephant. After practicing 10 levels, you will have the strength of 10 dragons and 10 elephants. Of course, it is not as strong as a dragon and an elephant, but each strike is nearly 1,000 pounds heavy and extremely powerful. Compared with the equally powerful 18 dragon subduing palms, Dragon Elephant Prajna-kun does not have so many exquisite moves. It has only one word. That is, reckless. You want to fight a chunin like me in physical skills? You're just courting death. Facing Naruto's attack, Mizuki looked very disdainful. He was just a little ninja school student, but he dared to fight him in physical skills. He was simply courting death. After saying that, Mizuki also used a punch, hoping to crush Naruto with the strength of a chunin. Then Mizuki was beaten away by Naruto. Are you kidding? Naruto, who has learned the Dragon Elephant Prajna Kung Fu, has enough chakra. No one can compete with him except Tsunade. Mizuki, who dared to fight him, was really courting death. Puff. Backquote impossible. How can your strength be so strong? Mizuki felt that he had suffered a heavy blow after being knocked away by Naruto's punch. This blow was not only physical, but also mental. There are so many things you don't know, Mizuki. What else do you have to say? Ahahaha. Mizuki stood up with difficulty, looking at Naruto, who didn't take advantage of the victory. First laughed like Yagami, and then continued. Now the teacher will teach you one more trick. Don't think you have one, and start talking nonsense. After that, Mizuki quickly took out a smoke bomb from the ninja tool bag, and threw it on the ground with a snap. At the moment the smoke bomb exploded, Mizuki left the place in a flash, and began to flee in the other direction of the woods. Idiot, you let me leave so easily. Students are students, and can never defeat teachers. It's a pity that I didn't get the Book of Seals, and I don't know if Lord Orochimaru will accept me like this. Well, I'm a chunin, and I can teach. I'm very useful. Lord Orochimaru should not refuse my service. When Mizuki chose this place, it was because it was very close to the exit of Konoha village. Even if the matter was exposed, he could still get out of the village, which was a retreat. Now this retreat is just in time. Teacher Mizuki, where are you going? Just as Mizuki was running away quickly, thinking about how to get Orochimaru to accept him, Naruto's voice suddenly came from his left. Mizuki quickly looked to the left, and found that Naruto had caught up with him at some point, less than 2 meters away from him. Teacher Mizuki, where are you looking? When Mizuki looked to the left, Naruto's voice also appeared on his right. He quickly turned his head, and saw that there was indeed a Naruto on the other side. Shadow clone. Mizuki was stunned. How did a guy who couldn't even use the clone technique perfectly learn a B-level ninjutsu like Shadow Clone? I'm surprised that I can learn Shadow Clone. At this time, Naruto's voice also came from the front of Mizuki. Hearing this, he didn't say anything, but quickly adjusted his pace, and rushed to the left front. This road is blocked. There was a Shadow Clone of Naruto in front of the left, so he adjusted again, and rushed to the right front. This road is also blocked. Since he couldn't rush out in front, he ran to the back. Hey, there are also some behind you. Naruto's shadow clones are everywhere. Front, back, left, and right. Mizuki has been surrounded. Standing on a huge tree, Mizuki looked blankly at the densely packed Naruto shadow clones around him. He was completely in despair. 1000 Narutos. Mizuki, surrender. Dragon Elephant Prajna, 1000 Narutos in a row. Mizuki, don't come over here. Facing the attack of 1000 Narutos, Mizuki completely collapsed. Chapter 17 Class Division, Shikamaru's Divine Speculation. Mizuki, the instigator of this incident, had been beaten into a pig's head by Naruto. If the main culprit is caught, then things will naturally be simple. With Iruka's protection and support, the third Hokage agreed to not only absolve Naruto of his guilt, but also let him graduate successfully. The moment he got the ninja forehead protector, Naruto jumped up with joy. With this forehead protector, he is a registered ninja in Konoha village. Becoming a ninja He is one step closer to his dream of becoming a Hokage, which naturally makes him very excited. Looking at the excited Naruto, Sarutobi Hiruzen also showed a kind smile on his face. After saying some encouraging words to Naruto, Iruka took Naruto away very tactfully. Seeing the two people walk out of the Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into deep thought. Just as Liang thought. From beginning to end, Sarutobi Hiruzen was monitoring Naruto with a crystal ball, so he also saw the scene of Naruto punching Mizuki away. When did Naruto have so much strength? Thinking about Naruto's past, he found that except for the fact that he often went to the store called Internet Cafe, he was no different from before. Is it the problem of that internet cafe? Seeing Naruto's performance tonight, Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer believed the nonsense of Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji. He thought he should find a time to go there in person. By then, he would naturally know whether there was a problem with the internet cafe. The next day, when Naruto appeared in the class division classroom wearing a ninja forehead protector, except for Sasuke and other friends who didn't think there was anything wrong, the rest of the classmates looked at Naruto and asked him if he had gone to the wrong place. Naruto laughed and ignored it, but walked to the seat next to Sakura and sat down. Naruto, congratulations on your successful graduation. I told you that with Naruto's strength, he will definitely get a forehead protector. As soon as Naruto sat down, Shikamaru, Choji and others in the back row congratulated Naruto. Others don't know Naruto's strength, but don't the friends who play games with him know it? Although Naruto has less time on the computer, his strength is not much weaker than Th's. As long as there is chakra, Naruto can always maintain the strange power of the dragon elephant Borugan. Plus he has a strong recovery ability. Any of the friends who face Naruto will have a headache. You hit him a few times, he's fine, but if he hits you once, you have to fall to the ground. This is really a matter of who knows. So, although Naruto is not the strongest among the friends, he is not the weakest either. I don't know who the strongest is. After all, I haven't beaten him, but the weakest is definitely Sakura. There is no way Naruto, who is also a poor man, has the support of Hinata, but Sakura, who is born in a civilian family, has no one to support her. During this period, she has only been on the computer a few times, and her strength is the weakest among several friends. However, even if she is the weakest, Sakura can beat many of these newly graduated genin. Shikamaru, who do you think will be grouped together when we are divided into classes this time? Almost everyone in the classroom was guessing about the class division. Even the classmates were very interested in this topic and expressed their guesses. Shikamaru was still lazy as always. He was only responsible for listening but not speaking. Now when he heard Kiba throw the question to him and saw that the others were very interested, he did not refuse. He just muttered it's really troublesome as usual, and then calmly began to say, I don't know about the others, but we shouldn't be separated. Why? The strength of the others is obviously not at the same level as us. For the sake of the team, they will definitely not be separated so easily. The existence of an elite team is much more valuable than an ordinary team. Hearing this, everyone nodded and agreed with what Shikamaru said. Since we know we are going to form an elite team, it's easy to decide how to form the teams. Ino, and Choji will definitely be grouped into one team. In Konoha, the Ino Shikachou team is a very classic combination. And Hinata, Shino, and Kiba should also be grouped into one team to form a reconnaissance squad. Hinata's Byakugan, Shino's bug sense, and Kiba's sense of smell are all very suitable for reconnaissance. The remaining Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura will naturally form another team. Shikamaru's analysis was well reasoned, and it was hard for anyone to refute it. Haha, Ino, did you see that? Even Shikamaru said I would be in the same team with Sasuke. Don't be so proud, broad forehead. This is just Shikamaru's analysis. How we divide the teams depends on what the teacher says later. Obviously, Sakura was the happiest person about Shikamaru's analysis, and she was showing off to Ino. What else could Ino say? The village would never break up the Ino Shikachou group. Ino, with her small arms, could not twist the thighs, so she could only accept her fate. But looking at Sakura's smug look, Ino still felt angry. Okay, everyone, please be quiet, and let's start the class division. At this time, Iruka came in with a class division information, which made Sakura put away her smug expression. Class 1, 30th, ZZZ, CCC. Class 7, Uchiha Sasuke, Daruno Sakura, Uzumaki Naruto. Class 8, Hyuga Hinata, Inozuka Kiba, Aburame Shino. Class 10, Nera Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, Akimichi Choji. Okay, that's the situation of the class division. Next, you just need to stay here and wait for the arrival of the team leader. After saying that, Iruka sent an encouraging look to Naruto and then walked out of the classroom. In fact, from the assignment of the team leader, it can be seen whether the village attaches importance to this team. The team led by a Chunin, if someone says that the village values them, they have to be believed. Among so many teams, only Kurenoi Yuhi of Team 8, Asuma Sarutobi of Team 10, and Kakashi of Team 7 are Jonin, and the rest of the teams are led by Chunin. This situation is exactly in line with what Shikamaru said about the difference between elite teams and ordinary teams. But what can the team members say? Can they still resist? Team leaders appeared one after another and took away the members of their teams. Until finally, only 3 people from Team 7 were left in the whole classroom. What? Our team leader is too slow. Seeing that everyone had followed the team leader and left, and his own team leader had not even seen his shadow, Naruto couldn't help but start complaining. Why don't we give him a good beating? Naruto is Naruto. Even though he has matured a lot in terms of thinking, he still does some childish things sometimes. For example, this time, Naruto directly placed the blackboard brush above the classroom door. As long as someone opened the door and came in, the blackboard brush would fall and hit the person's head. Chapter 18 Kakashi is it? Naruto, why are you still so childish? The ninjas who are qualified to lead the team are at least Chunin. Even we can easily avoid this kind of trick. Do you think our team leader can't avoid it? Because of the existence of the internet cafe, Sasuke's personality is not as gloomy and cold as in the original work. Seeing Naruto's prank, he couldn't help but complain. Try it. Just like the stinky uncle said, I'm free anyway. That's right. Sasuke nodded, agreeing with what Naruto said, then he stood up, walked to the door, took something out of his trouser pocket and said, your thing is too simple, let me strengthen it. If a time traveler saw this scene, he would definitely shout, Sasuke, your character is broken. Sasuke didn't care whether his character was broken or not. He suddenly felt that this kind of prank seemed quite interesting. With Sasuke's participation, Sakura naturally became interested. For a while, the 3 of them began to fiddle with it at the door of the classroom. When Hatake Kakashi found the words lost in his life again, he came to school slowly and lazily wanted to open the classroom door when he suddenly felt something unusual. Sure. The moment he opened the door, the blackboard eraser above his head began to fall. At the same time, the steel wire wrapped around the door by Sasuke also triggered several chalks through a chain reaction. Facing the blackboard eraser above his head and the chalks coming towards him, Kakashi could only dodge to the left and right to avoid being hit. But on the floor on both sides, there was superglue applied by Sakura. Unless Kakashi retreated, he would definitely be hit. Facing the pranks of Sasuke and the other 2, would Kakashi retreat? Of course not. Although he has always been sloppy and unreliable, he still has the dignity of a Jonin. If he is forced to retreat by the simple trap made by these 3 little kids who just graduated, then his dignity as a Jonin will be gone. Does he, Kakashi, also want to save face? Puff. Swish, swish. Kakashi did not choose to retreat, nor did he dodge to the left or right, but chose to take the trap. With such a simple trap, Kakashi naturally caught it easily. However, whether it was the blackboard brush in his left hand or the chalk in his right hand, Sakura had smeared glue on them. So, Kakashi was finally caught. What? Is our team leader so lame? He was caught so easily. The prank was successful, but Naruto and the other 2 did not show a trace of happiness. Instead, they seemed a little dissatisfied because Kakashi was caught. How should I put it? My first impression of you is quite annoying. Ignoring the blackboard brush and chalk in his hands, Kakashi just said lightly, I'll wait for you on the rooftop of the school, come up quickly. After saying that, he disappeared with a bang. Shadow clone. When? Sasuke and Sakura didn't know what this thing was, but Naruto knew. When he was about to open the door, he noticed something was wrong, and then he used the shadow clone to open the door without Naruto and the other two noticing. This response successfully changed Naruto's impression of this teacher as a weakling. Naruto, do you know what this is? The clones learned in the ninja school have no entity and can only be used to attract attention, but the shadow clone has an entity and can be used directly in combat. This is a shadow clone, a high level clone technique. On the way to the rooftop, Naruto told Sasuke and Sakura about the shadow clone. When they heard that the shadow clone could help with training, Sasuke and Sakura laughed happily. But when they heard about the side effects, their faces fell again. But they must learn it. Even if they can't split many shadow clones due to chakra, even if they split one, it can speed up the progress of training. In order to deepen my understanding of you, everyone, please introduce yourselves first. On the rooftop, although Kakashi had already read the information of the three people, as the first formal meeting, the self-introduction link must be there. The main purpose is not to know who the other party is, but to collect information. He had already read the information of the three people some time ago. Now he had to update these information and lay a foundation for future interactions. As the team leader, shouldn't you speak first? Naruto and the other two were very interested in Kakashi. They were eager to know what kind of person their team leader was. Is that so? Okay, I'll go first. My name is Hatake Kakashi. I don't want to tell you what I like and what I don't like. My future dreams. I have a variety of interests. After listening to Kakashi's self-introduction, the faces of the three were quite strange. Except for a name, you didn't say anything else. You are just fooling people. Kakashi looked at Naruto. The information showed that Naruto was a hot-blooded idiot who often failed exams and was suspected of having an IQ problem. Now it seems that Naruto's IQ is quite normal, and he knows that he was fooling them. Sure enough, the things written on paper are not as accurate as the information obtained by personal investigation. If it weren't for the introduction just now, he might have always regarded Naruto as a fool. Don't worry about these details. Besides, ninjas can't be understood according to common sense. Anyway, my introduction is over. It's your turn next. Kakashi shrugged his shoulders. He would not reveal his information to these rookies. Instead, he began to urge them. My name is Haruno Sakura. I like. Sakura looked at Sasuke next to her and continued. I hate poverty. My dream is to become a great female ninja like Tsunade-sama. HMM. Doesn't the information say that Haruno Sakura hates Naruto? Why is it different? After Haruno Sakura finished speaking, it was Uzumaki Naruto's turn. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I like eating Ichiraku ramen and playing games. The thing I hate the most is the same as Sakura. It is poverty. As for my dream, it is of course to become a Hokage and be respected. HMM. Isn't it Uchiha Sasuke that Naruto hates the most? How come he became poor like Sakura? The person who collected this information is too amateur. After complaining secretly, Kakashi looked at Sasuke. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I hate a lot of things, but I like the growth of strength, and I must kill that man. Sasuke. This information has not changed much. After listening to the introduction of the three people, Kakashi nodded and said, after listening to your self-introductions, I have a little understanding of you. Okay, starting from tomorrow, let's start the mission. Mission? Speaking of the mission, Naruto and Sakura looked very happy. There is no way these two are the only two poor guys among the 9 strong men. If they want to go to the internet cafe to use the computer, they must make money. And doing missions is exactly the best way for ninjas to make money. Chapter 19 Gathering Intelligence. Let's start with the mission that only the 4 of us can complete tomorrow. What mission is it, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto and Sakura were thinking about completing the mission to earn money and then going to the internet cafe to use the computer. But the mission Kakashi mentioned seemed to be different from what they understood. It's a survival exercise mission. What? It's an exercise. When they heard it was a play, their faces immediately fell. Kakashi thought that Sakura and Naruto looked down on this exercise, so he specifically reminded them. This exercise is different from the exercises you have in school. If your performance tomorrow does not satisfy me, then you will be sent back to the ninja school and study for another year. What? There is such a rule. Not only Sakura and Naruto were surprised, but even Sasuke could not accept this. As the top graduate of this year, he felt that he would not allow himself to be sent back to school as a loser. Then, gather at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I remind you, don't eat breakfast, otherwise you will vomit. Finally, Kakashi threatened the three people with a serious expression, and then quickly left the rooftop. After Kakashi left, the trio naturally had no need to stay on the rooftop, and they all started to walk downstairs. Sasuke, who exactly do you want to kill? Do you want our help? Yes, Sasuke, we are now partners in the same team. If you need any help, you must not be polite to us. Just now, when Sasuke said that he wanted to kill someone, Naruto and Sakura had already noticed that Sasuke's expression was obviously different from usual. With the internet cafe as a bond, the friendship between the three people is much better than the same period in the original work. Whether as friends or partners, Sakura and Naruto feel that they have an obligation to help Sasuke. Nothing, this is my own business, let me solve it myself. Sasuke was still very grateful to the two in his heart. If it were other things, he would probably ask the two to help. However, only that man, he must kill him with his own hands. So where are we going now? At this time of the day, they should be studying in school. Now that they have graduated, the team leader has just left the school. For a moment, Naruto didn't know what to do. Continue to play pranks? That's definitely not an option. He felt very ashamed when he thought about how he had played all kinds of pranks in order to attract other people's attention. Fortunately, a new life is about to begin, so let the past black history go to hell. Since there is nothing to do, why don't we go to the internet cafe now? Naruto felt really stupid. Why did he think of such a good place as the internet cafe only now? Just when he thought that Sasuke and Sakura would agree to it, they shook their heads and refused. Naruto, I have to go home first and tell my parents about the class division today. Unlike Naruto and Sasuke, Sakura has her own parents and family. For a big thing like class division, she naturally has to tell her parents as soon as possible. This reason is perfect, and Naruto doesn't know what to say. There's a saying in the game that only by knowing yourself and the enemy can you win every battle, so I'm going to collect some information about Kakashi. Now, apart from knowing that his name is Hatake Kakashi and he's a Jonin, we don't know what he's good at, the three techniques of ninjutsu and jinjutsu, and how strong he is in combat. Only by getting accurate information can we prescribe the right medicine. In order to pass the survival exercise smoothly tomorrow, I'm leaving first. After saying that, Sasuke nodded to Naruto and Sakura, and then quickly left the school. Seeing Sasuke leave, Sakura followed Sasuke's steps, and left the school. At this moment, only Naruto was still walking slowly on the playground. In fact, Naruto also wanted to go with Sasuke to collect information about Kakashi, but Sasuke didn't give him a chance to speak and left directly. But on second thought, to collect information about Kakashi, it's not necessary to go with Sasuke. Isn't it the same to ask someone else? So, why don't I ask the magical uncle? Through the Book of Seals, Naruto has keenly noticed that the owner of the internet cafe obviously knows something that others don't know. Even the uncle who can learn the ninjutsu in the Book of Seals knows it, so the uncle should also know the information of mere Jonin. At this time, the internet cafe is as deserted as ever. Liang's current customers are only the 9 little strong men, and they usually come at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still early in the afternoon. However, today should be the time for them to divide into classes and get in touch with the team leader. Liang estimates that today, except for the 7th class, the other 6 little strong men should not have time to come. This person just can't stand being talked about. Liang was just thinking about the 7th class, and Naruto ran all the way here in a hurry. Uncle, good morning. It's Naruto, good morning. Liang was still lying on the rocking chair at the door as usual, but this time there was a cup of wolfberry tea next to him, and his salted fish look was even better than before. Uncle, let me tell you, we are divided into classes today, but I think the leader named Hatake Kakashi is a bit unreliable. Kakashi? It seems that the leader of Team 7 has not changed. Nodding secretly, Liang looked at Naruto and asked calmly, so, what do you want to ask? Naruto clicked his head, pretending to be embarrassed and said, I just want to ask uncle, do you know the information about Kakashi teacher? Kakashi's information, TSK. He picked up the teacup and drank a sip of tea, touched his hair, looked at his nails, and saw that Naruto was already impatient, so Liang said calmly, it seems that I really know the information about Kakashi. Ah, uncle, you really know it, then tell me quickly. Naruto, I know the information about Kakashi, but why should I tell you? What do you have to exchange this information with me? Uncle, you know, I don't have much money. Hearing that he had to exchange something for information, Naruto was in trouble. As everyone knows, he is a poor guy, very poor. How can he exchange anything for information like this? Ahem, I don't know what's wrong with my shoulder. I felt sore when I woke up this morning, and my legs too. Seeing Liang pretending to be sore, Naruto immediately understood and quickly created two shadow clones, one to massage his shoulders and the other to massage his legs. Uncle, do you think the strength is appropriate? Uncle, your teacup is out of water. I'll go and add some water for you. Uncle, are you satisfied with my technique? Uncle. After a while of service, Liang felt satisfied and waved his hand to let Naruto release the shadow clones. The two tall shadow clones disappeared into smoke with a bang. Information about Kakashi. Chapter 20 Kakashi, the 12-year-old jonin. Hatake Kakashi, an elite jonin of Konoha village, graduated from the ninja school at the age of 5, became a chunin at the age of 6, and was promoted to a jonin at the age of 12. He was a true genius back then. What? That unreliable Kakashi teacher is so amazing? This simple sentence shocked Naruto directly. What does a 12-year-old jonin mean? Naruto is only 12 years old now. 12-year-old Kakashi is already a jonin, and what about him? He just graduated from the ninja school. Even in wartime, the conditions for graduating from the ninja school will be more relaxed, but this cannot cover up the fact that Kakashi is a genius. However, when Naruto thinks of the disappointing self-introduction just now, it is difficult for him to put the genius persona on Kakashi. He always feels that such a super genius should not give people a sense of unreliability. By the way, uncle, you said he was a genius back then, so what about now? Is he not good enough now? Not that he is not good enough. Liang glanced at Naruto and didn't expect him to notice this small detail. Compared to his childhood achievements, although Kakashi has made a name for himself in the ninja world and has the title of copy ninja, he has not met people's expectations of him. Liang also felt a little sorry for Kakashi when he said this. Kakashi's father is the famous Konoha White Fang Hatake Sono. If things had developed normally, Kakashi would have become another cage-level strongman similar to his father. But things did not develop normally, but an accident occurred. His teammate Uchiha Obito died in the battle and left him a Sharingan as a gift before his death. Because Kakashi did not have Uchiha blood, the Sharingan Obito gave him could not be turned on and off freely. From the moment the Sharingan was installed, this eye had been consuming his chakra and increasing his physical burden. In order to reduce this burden, he would pull down his forehead protector to cover the eye with the Sharingan. It can be said that this Sharingan made Kakashi what he is today, but destroyed the former super genius Kakashi. At the entrance of the internet cafe, Liang told Naruto a lot of information about Kakashi. He even told him about Sharingan and Chidori ninjutsu. Regardless of whether Naruto understood it or not, Liang told him everything. Naruto's intelligence collection went smoothly, but Sasuke's was not so smooth. The only ninja circles he could contact at present were a few friends who had just graduated. Therefore, if he wanted to obtain information about Kakashi, he had to ask the teachers who led these friends. However, Sasuke was not a face fruit ability user after all. Neither Sarutobi Asuma nor Yuhi Kurenoi gave Sasuke too much information. It was just because of the face of Ino and others that they told Sasuke some trivial information. For example, Kakashi's ninja level, age, height and other common goods. This made Sasuke very dissatisfied, but there was no way. Asuma and Yuhi Kurenoi were not familiar with Sasuke. It was a favor, not a duty, and Sasuke could not force others. What's more, he did not have the strength to force the two senior ninjas. Fortunately, he did not gain nothing. At least he knew that Kakashi belonged to the Jonin class and should be very strong. He reluctantly recognized Kakashi's qualifications as a team leader. Before dawn the next day, the 3 members of Team 7 had already arrived at the place agreed with Kakashi. Sasuke, Sakura, have you had breakfast? Hearing Naruto's question, both shook their heads, indicating that they had not. Didn't Kakashi teacher say not to eat breakfast? Sakura was a little strange. Yesterday, Kakashi teacher clearly said not to eat breakfast, and Naruto was there, so why did he ask this question? Hehe. Naruto smiled and said, I knew you didn't eat. After that, he took out a large lunchbox with 6 rice balls from his bag. Naruto, you. Come on, let's have 2 each, and talk while we eat. Seeing Naruto like this, Sasuke and Sakura were still a little strange, but they did not refuse. Anyway, they thought that Naruto must have a reason for doing this. Sure enough, while eating rice balls, Naruto told Sasuke and Sakura the information he had learned from Liang. When they heard that Kakashi graduated from the ninja school at the age of 5, became a chunin at the age of 6, and became a jonin at the age of 12, they both took a breath. Later, when Naruto said that Kakashi could learn thousands of ninjutsu, the reaction of the two was not so big. Obviously, they were still entangled in the matter of 12-year-old Jonin. Naruto actually felt the same way about the performance of the two. After all, his performance at Liang's place yesterday was not better than that of the 2 friends. Why don't you slow down, and then I will continue. Seeing the 2 people like this, Naruto wanted them to slow down, especially Sasuke. After all, what he said next might cause a lot of stimulation to Sasuke. We are fine, you continue. The 2 took a deep breath, calmed down, and signaled Naruto to continue. Okay. In addition to what I said above, Kakashi Sensei actually has a Sharingan. It is because of this Sharingan that he can get the title of copy ninja, which is why he can use thousands of ninjutsu. Sharingan? When Sasuke heard that Kakashi had a Sharingan, his eyes instantly turned red, and he seemed extremely excited. How did he get his Sharingan? Kakashi's last name is not Uchiha, so his Sharingan is very likely obtained from Sasuke's clan. If it was given by a clan member, it would be fine, but if it was snatched, then no matter how big the gap in strength between the 2 sides is, Sasuke will find Kakashi to have a good talk. Don't be so excited, Sasuke. Seeing Sasuke's excitement, Naruto quickly said, in fact, Kakashi Sensei's Sharingan was given by his best friend. As he said that, Naruto told Sasuke about Obito, which made Sasuke's face look better. However, when he thought that Uchiha's Sharingan would appear in the eyes of an outsider, he couldn't help but feel complicated. But this is good. Maybe I can ask him to teach me about the application of Sharingan. Thinking of having a teacher with Sharingan, Sasuke nodded, and then continued to ask, by the way, where did you collect this information? Sasuke was very surprised that Naruto could collect such complete information. After all, he went to collect it himself, but he only got some public information, which was of no value at all. Hehe, of course I got it from the magical uncle. Everyone has a deep understanding of the magic of internet cafes. Since internet cafes are so magical, then as the owner of internet cafes, it doesn't seem strange that Liang knows this information, right? Chapter 21 Survival Drill. Is that so? I don't know if the boss knows the information about that person. Well, after the drill is over, I will go to the internet cafe to ask the boss. Regardless of whether Liang knows the information about that person, Sasuke feels that he should ask about it. What if the boss knows? It won't cost money to try anyway. Drill. Speaking of drills, Naruto's expression immediately became strange. I heard from the uncle that since Obito's death, Kakashi's personality has changed greatly. He has changed from a diligent and positive boy to a lazy and decadent man who doesn't care about anything. Besides, the uncle also specifically told me that Kakashi's favorite thing to do is to be late. So, we must be prepared for Kakashi to come at noon or even in the afternoon. Damn, at this moment Sasuke and Sakura wanted to strangle Naruto. Such important information was actually delayed until the last minute. So, what are we doing now? Waiting? I really want to go back and take a nap. Sakura was originally very resentful about getting up so early. After all, lack of sleep will affect the skin. Now she heard what Naruto said, she was even more resentful. Don't, if Kakashi comes, and we are not here, he might find an excuse to get angry. Sasuke and Naruto were still very rational. They knew that they were at a critical period. Whether they could graduate successfully and become ninjas depended on the attitude of Kakashi, the team leader, towards them. If they were not good, and Kakashi was dissatisfied, and directly announced that they were unqualified, that would be a lot of fun. We are idle anyway, let's discuss how to deal with Kakashi teacher later. Okay. Naruto and the other two were now quite powerful, and now they knew the exact information about Kakashi. They were prepared. No matter what the content of the exercise was, it was better to be prepared than not. The sun was high in the sky, and it was almost time for lunch. At this time, Kakashi finally arrived. Glancing at the empty large lunchbox, Kakashi still looked lazy, as if he didn't care about anything. I'm sorry, I lost myself on the road of life. It was obvious that it was a perfunctory remark, which made Sakura and Naruto very dissatisfied. If you want to find an excuse, you should think of a better excuse. This perfunctory remark clearly shows that you don't take them to heart. I feel relieved to see you so energetic. Ignoring the dissatisfaction of Naruto and Sakura, Kakashi took out 2 bells from his trouser pocket and said, "It's almost time for lunch now, so let's keep today's exercise simple and try to finish it early. Do you see these 2 bells? No matter what method you use, as long as you grab these 2 bells, I will consider you a pass." After saying that, he hung the bells on his waist. "Wait, you only have 2 bells, but we have 3 people, right?" Facing Sasuke's question, Kakashi nodded and said as a matter of course, "So, one of you will be sent back to school by me. So who is this person among the 3 of you?" Kakashi originally thought that after he said this, Naruto and the others might show some pessimistic or angry emotions. However, he found that the 3 little guys didn't pay any attention to him at all, but kept some distance from him and whispered something. This quality is not bad. Kakashi was satisfied with what Sasuke and the other 2 did now. Over there, the trio began to discuss quietly. Is Kakashi sensei kidding us? Which ninja team nowadays is not a team of 4? If one of us is eliminated, wouldn't it become a team of 3? Will Konoha allow such a team to exist? After Naruto finished speaking, Sasuke continued, then the problem arises. The main purpose of this exercise must not be as simple as grabbing the bell. There must be a deeper meaning. Otherwise, grabbing the bell will eliminate one person, and not grabbing the bell will eliminate everyone. In any case, at least one person must be eliminated. Such an exercise is simply playing tricks on people. Thinking carefully about Kakashi Sensei's past, I guess the real purpose of this exercise should be to let us learn teamwork and trust partners. In the end, it was Sakura, the academic master, who had a quick mind and roughly guessed the purpose of Kakashi's exercise. Sasuke, well, that's probably it. Naruto, Sakura is right. Since the conclusion has been reached, the 3-person strategy has come out. So what is the strategy? Don't ask, the answer is one word, reckless. Have you discussed it? Yes, Kakashi sensei, please come over. Okay, since you are ready, I declare that the exercise will begin. After giving the order, Kakashi jumped back to distance himself from the 3 people, and then took out the intimate paradise in his ninja tool bag to watch. Seeing Kakashi's pretentious appearance, the 3 people looked at each other, and Sasuke and Naruto rushed up with a brisk step, while Sakura began to move around Kakashi. Don't you want to hide yourself? It seems that these 3 people have sufficient confidence in their own strength. Kakashi narrowed his eyes slightly. He didn't think that the 3 people were all reckless. From the fact that they didn't listen to his advice, ate breakfast, and just discussed, the 3 people should have more or less found out some of his information. Since they knew their information and dared to rush up, they must have their own support. Sasuke, you go left, I'll go right. Okay, Naruto. On the way, Sasuke and Naruto separated on the left and right, and used their own martial arts respectively, and began to attack Kakashi fiercely. 18 Dragon Subduing Palms. Dragon Elephant Prajna Sutra. Whether it was the Dragon Subduing Palm or the Dragon Elephant Sutra, these were both extremely powerful palm techniques. Judging from the looks of Sasuke and Naruto, they were not going to grab the bell at all, but were going to kill Kakashi. Swish. Based on the sound of the palm wind and the two people's unstoppable momentum, Kakashi judged that the power of the two people's attacks would probably not be small. For the sake of caution, he did not choose to take them head on, but instead dodged their attacks. Step by step, he retreated, opened up space, and used the space to perfectly dodge the attacks of the two people. Seeing that their martial arts could not hit anyone at all, Sasuke and Naruto looked at each other and used their own light steps. Sasuke's Lingbo micro step was very suitable for this kind of small-scale movement, while Naruto's Shensing Beichang was like a loach, swaying east and west. With the help of light steps, Kakashi's pressure was doubled at this time. What's going on? I'm a dignified senior ninja, and I'm actually being beaten by two children? I don't want to save face, do I? Thinking of this, Kakashi's expression changed. He already had a general understanding of Sasuke and Naruto's physical skills, and felt that, if he didn't show some real skills, he might end up in trouble. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Survival Exercise. Facing the attacks of Sasuke and Naruto, Kakashi stepped back quickly, trying to distance himself from them. While retreating, he put the intimate paradise he was holding back into his ninja tool bag. Just as he was putting the books away, Naruto shouted, "Sakura, it's time." It turned out that Sasuke and Naruto attacked Kakashi so hard just to entangle him, so that he would focus on himself and create an opportunity for Sakura to attack. Sakura on Kakashi's left heard Naruto shout and immediately extended her index finger to attack. Doin' family secret skill, one finger of Sunday. Because of the blindfold, Kakashi's left side must not have as good vision as the right side, which is why Sakura chose to attack from the left side. The one finger of sun is not only an attack and a healer, but also a long range attack. This is the most suitable martial art for Sakura, the weakest of the three. Oh no. Facing Sakura's sneak attack, Kakashi was shocked. He never thought that Sakura would actually block the view. Fortunately, you have a plan. I have a way to get over the wall. Don't think you have one. Kakashi turned into a cloud of smoke with a bang and disappeared in front of the three people. Shadow clone. When Sasuke and Naruto were shocked. They didn't know when Kakashi used the shadow clone. They looked around and began to look for Kakashi's real body. At this time, Kakashi suddenly appeared in the ground not far from Sakura. Sakura, be careful behind you. Seeing Kakashi's real body appear not far behind Sakura, Sasuke and Naruto hurriedly reminded Sakura. Sakura was also very decisive. She didn't even look behind her and directly used the light footsteps to run. Unfortunately, the characteristic of light footsteps is to move in a small range. For this kind of escaping with oil on the soles of the feet, it is better to use the godly movement. Illusion. Naraku viewing technique. Facing Kakashi's illusion, Sakura was directly hit. Sasuke, stop licking, that's where you pee. Sakura looked at Sasuke and begged in a low voice, but Sasuke still ignored her. Sasuke, don't lick it, it's dirty. Sakura's voice trembled, but Sasuke continued to lick it attentively. Sasuke, if you lick it again, wait for Naruto to come. I will tell Naruto and let him despise you. Go ahead. Sasuke turned his head and looked at Sakura with disdain, then turned his head and continued to lick the toilet. Sasuke has always been a male god in Sakura's heart. Now seeing her male god licking the toilet, this horrible scene directly made Sakura faint. Got one. Kakashi gently put the fainted Sakura on the ground and secretly breathed a sigh of relief. When he saw the large lunchbox, he was already alert. In addition, the three people were so skilled in ninja skills, so for safety reasons, Kakashi created a shadow clone and asked the shadow clone to test them first, while his real body was lurking in the woods, waiting for an opportunity to act. When he found that the shadow clone could not handle the three people, he immediately dismantled the shadow clone and then used the earth escape ninjutsu to quickly move behind Sakura. Fortunately, I'm more cautious. Look, the real body easily handled Sakura as soon as it appeared. If he didn't pose and show off at this time, he would not be Kakashi. Multiple shadow clone technique. Come on, I want to beat up Kakashi teacher. You dare to play tricks on us. Naruto didn't want to give Kakashi time to show off, so he directly created a bunch of shadow clones. Looking at the dozens of shadow clones rushing towards him, Kakashi couldn't help but curse in his heart. It's great to have more chakra, but can you do whatever you want with more chakra? If Naruto heard Kakashi's thoughts, he would probably reply, sorry, chakra means you can do whatever you want. Now Naruto, if divided according to the ninja level, probably has the strength of a chunin. The chunin here is not the fake chunin taught by the teacher in the ninja school, but the real one. Facing the shadow clones of this level, even Kakashi has to deal with them seriously. After all, there are too many of them. With so many shadow clones rushing at him, Kakashi would not be stupid enough to use physical skills to fight them head on. He jumped and not only left Sakura's side, but also distanced himself from these shadow clones. In the air, Kakashi quickly formed seals with both hands. When he finished the last seal, he shouted, fire style, great fireball technique. A huge fireball instantly appeared from Kakashi's mouth and sprayed towards the shadow clones. For a while, the sound of bang 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 came one after another. After a while, the smoke cleared, and Naruto's shadow clones were completely wiped out. Naruto, I've put Sakura in a safe place. In order not to affect Sakura, Naruto created dozens of shadow clones, just to force Kakashi to move. As long as Kakashi was forced to move, Sasuke could get close to Sakura, and put her in a safe place to avoid being affected by the battle. Okay, since Sakura is safe, let's go. After saying that, without waiting for Sasuke to reply, Naruto used the multiple shadow clone technique again. This time, the number of clones was not dozens, but hundreds. Naruto army, charge. More than 100 Naruto clones rushed towards Kakashi fearlessly, and the momentum was just short of shouting our legion. Kakashi was helpless at this time. Just now, he had destroyed dozens of Naruto's shadow clones, and now more than 100 clones have been created in the blink of an eye. The more they fight, the more they appear. How can I play? Thinking of his chakra, Kakashi decided to fight quickly and not give Naruto a chance to exhaust him. Kakashi, who was serious, took off the forehead protector that covered his left eye, revealing the 3 Megatama Sharingan. Seeing Kakashi with his Sharingan exposed, Sasuke and Naruto knew that this man was getting serious. After opening the Sharingan, Kakashi was extremely terrifying. He rushed directly into the crowd of Naruto's army, holding a kunai, and killing one kid with one sword. Naruto's original body's physical skills were very strong, so the physical skills of his shadow clones were naturally not weak. But when more than 100 shadow clones were destroyed, none of them touched Kakashi. With the help of the Sharingan, Kakashi's insight was greatly enhanced. Even when facing the attacks of so many shadow clones, he could easily deal with it. However, he was not feeling well at this time. At that time, creating a shadow clone had consumed a lot of his chakra, and then he used a fireball, and now he opened the Sharingan to kill so many shadow clones. Kakashi, who didn't have much chakra, was already panting a little. If Naruto creates a bunch of shadow clones, I might really be exhausted by them. With this thought, Kakashi felt that he couldn't give Naruto the opportunity to use his shadow clones. So, for the first time, he took the initiative to attack Sasuke and Naruto. Fire style, great fireball technique. Fire style, great fireball technique. Seeing Kakashi spitting fire at them, Sasuke also started to spit fire. The flames collided with each other. Sasuke didn't retreat, and began to continuously output chakra to keep the flames from dissipating. He knew that, as long as he held Kakashi back, Naruto would have a chance. He had teammates. Kakashi also knew that he couldn't be held back by Sasuke, because he was alone, and had no teammates. So, after a stalemate with Sasuke for less than a second, Kakashi took the initiative to interrupt his chakra, threw the kunai in his hand at Naruto, and then ran towards the two. Naruto still wanted to use Shadow Clone to consume Kakashi, but now he had no choice but to give up the seal and dodge the kunai attack with a small jump. After he dodged the kunai, he had no chance to use Shadow Clone. Because Kakashi got close, That's right, Kakashi was going to fight with the two of them in physical skills. Facing the attack of Kakashi, who opened the Sharingan, Sasuke and Naruto both seemed to have a hard time dealing with it. It didn't take long for the two of them to be beaten black and blue by Kakashi. Chapter 23 Survival Exercise. Actually, Kakashi was also in a bad mood at this time. The Sharingan was not omnipotent. In the three-way battle, he was still hit by a punch from Sasuke and Naruto. Fortunately, Naruto and Sasuke did not have enough chakra control, especially Naruto. At this time, the power of the Dragon Elephant skill he used was less than 1/10 of the usual power. If the three continued like this, Kakashi would be able to deal with Sasuke and Naruto, but he would definitely be seriously injured. However, Sasuke made a mistake in the battle. He kept creating opportunities for Naruto, hoping that Naruto could use the shadow clone technique smoothly. As long as Kakashi had no chakra left, they would win. Well, from this point of view, Sasuke could not be said to have made a mistake. He just wanted to win. Unfortunately, the experienced Kakashi just didn't give Sasuke a chance. No matter how Sasuke blocked Naruto's punches, or used the light footsteps to fight Kakashi, it was useless. Finally, Kakashi saw the opportunity and used the Earth-style heart decapitation technique to pull the seriously injured Sasuke into the ground, and he fainted. Two of the three were knocked unconscious, leaving only Naruto. Kakashi wanted to act quickly and deal with Naruto directly, but he suddenly thought of Naruto's arrogant use of chakra, as if it was free, when he used the shadow clone just now. He was simply uneducated. Well, this is definitely not because he envied Naruto's chakra. Absolutely not. Now, let me show you the secret of Konohagaku's physical technique, 1000 Years of Death. Naruto's reaction had become much slower at this time, and he couldn't resist Kakashi's attack at all. However, when he heard the 1000 Years of Death, and found that Kakashi had circled behind him, he showed a weird smile. Ding. Crack. The attack was successful, but Kakashi felt that the touch was wrong. Before he could react to why Naruto's anus was so hard, the pain from his fingers almost made him scream. Holding back the pain, Kakashi quickly stepped back a few steps, looking at the index and middle fingers of his left and right hands, and found that they were broken. Haha, you never expected it, Kakashi-sensei. Seeing Kakashi frowning, Naruto laughed, and then began to take off his pants. Don't get me wrong, Naruto is not a pervert, and he doesn't have the habit of exhibitionism. The reason he did this was entirely because of Liang's instructions. It turned out that after Naruto inquired about Kakashi's information yesterday, Liang handed Naruto something and asked him to put it on before the exercise. If Kakashi didn't use the 1000 Years of Death move, Naruto would naturally not care. But if Kakashi used it, then Naruto would take off his pants and mock him. After saying that, Liang was afraid that Naruto would disagree, so he quickly fooled him. Don't you want to see Kakashi's uncomfortable expression? To be honest, Kakashi and Naruto have no grudges, so doing this is really too much hatred. But he didn't want to refuse Liang, so Naruto had made up his mind at that time. Even if Kakashi used the 1000 Years of Killing, he would not take off his pants. Who would have thought that he would be beaten so badly by Kakashi today? In order to vent his anger, he also wanted to let Kakashi take a good look. I didn't expect that you were still wearing iron pants. That's right, what Liang gave Naruto was a pair of iron pants. This pair of iron pants is not an ordinary pair of iron pants. This is a good thing produced by the system. This thing has a very heavy weight. It can not only protect your private parts, but also exercise your physical fitness. This is also one of the few things that Liang can buy in the system, except for some daily necessities. Hahaha, I told you to use the 1000 Years of Death, now you're getting your comeuppance. Naruto had to say that seeing Kakashi in pain was quite interesting to him. Seeing such an interesting scene, Naruto not only laughed wildly, but also patted his butt while laughing. Kakashi ignored Naruto, but frowned and thought about something. Whether it was the large lunchbox that Naruto brought, Sakura's position, or the iron pants now, they all showed one thing. His information was seriously leaked. Most of the Konoha ninjas knew his character, so it shouldn't be difficult to find out that he would be late. The Sharingan was not a secret in the ninja circle, but the three of them had just graduated, so how could they have good relationships with other ninjas? What's more, even ninjas from the same village would not tell information about other people's secret strength, right? However, Sakura's position and sneak attack just now clearly showed that she knew about his Sharingan. Plus the 1000 years of death now. This was invented by his father, Hatake Tsukumo. Except for his father's occasional use, he himself had never used it once. The first time he used it, he encountered the legendary Iron Pants. Damn, he didn't believe that no one was targeting him. So who was targeting him? Even if he was a little lazy, liked to be late, and liked to perfunctory others, Kakashi knew that he was a good ninja. It doesn't matter if there are ninjas from other ninja villages, but in Konoha, there is no reason for him to be confronted with such an inexplicable rivalry. Is Asuma jealous of my handsomeness? Or is Kei retaliating against me for not fighting him? Thinking about it, Kakashi was lost in thought. Naruto, who was laughing, looked at Kakashi frowning and thinking, and thought this was an opportunity. He took off his iron pants and enhanced his mobility. Then he used the divine movement and teleported to the left rear of Kakashi and reached out to take out the bell. Stop it. Kakashi was still thinking about something, and it was not so easy to be sneak attacked. He instinctively slapped Naruto in the face. Then, Naruto also fell into a coma. Flop. When Naruto woke up, he found that he, Sasuke and Sakura were all tied to a tree stump. Hey, you're awake. Puff. Ha ha ha. As soon as Naruto woke up, he saw Sasuke with a bruised face greeting him. Looking at Sasuke, who was hit by a leg that was unrecognizable, Naruto couldn't help laughing at that time. Naruto's silly smile directly angered Sasuke, who roared in shame and anger. What are you laughing at? Do you think you can be better than me? Well, the eldest brother doesn't say the second brother. Naruto's big-headed third honor is really not qualified to laugh at Sasuke. I don't care. Anyway, you look so funny now. Asshole. Sasuke gritted his teeth and wished he could fight with Naruto immediately. Unfortunately, he was also tied up by Kakashi and could not move freely. At this time, Kakashi took out a mirror and silently held it in front of Naruto. When Naruto saw his dignity, his smile stopped abruptly. This time it was Sasuke's turn to laugh at Naruto. Ha ha ha, see, with your pig-headed dignity, you dare to laugh at me. Arrogant Sasuke, shut up. Backquote, I won't shut up. If you have the guts, come and bite me lol. Ignoring Sasuke, who looked like he deserved a beating, Naruto turned his head and looked at Sakura, who looked calm and sighed. Sakura is still good. She didn't laugh at us, even though we were like this. Naruto. Hearing Naruto praising her like this, Sakura said with an embarrassed look on her face, actually, I had already laughed when you were still asleep, and now I really don't have the energy to laugh anymore. Naruto. Sasuke. Chapter 24. Sarutobi Hiruzen arrives. While Team 7 was conducting a survival drill, Sarutobi Hiruzen was looking at Liang's information. Well, judging from the information, there is nothing wrong with this young man named Liang. Sarutobi Hiruzen only looked at the information investigated by the Enbu, and naturally could not see anything special. After all, Liang is a man with a system. When he traveled through time, the system had perfectly fabricated a resume of Liang's life experience. Since his grandfather's generation, Liang's family has settled in Konoha. His parents died in the Ninetales Rebellion 12 years ago. Konoha gave Liang a certain amount of compensation, plus some of his own savings, which allowed Liang to open a rather strange store. From household registration to behavioral logic, some of them are convincing and well-founded. I can't tell anything just by looking at the information. I still have to take a look myself. After putting away Liang's information, Sarutobi Hiruzen tidied it up a little, then left the Hokage's office and walked towards Liang's internet cafe. When Liang saw the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen wearing a Hokage robe, he knew that trouble was coming. Hokage-sama, welcome. Standing up from his chair, Liang greeted the third Hokage indifferently. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't mind Liang's attitude. After all, it was Konoha that failed to protect their family, so in his opinion, it was understandable that Liang had some small opinions about him as a Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and said, "Young man, your name is Liang, right?" "Yes, Hokage-sama. I heard that your business is pretty good recently." "Pretty good?" Liang's mouth twitched. "I'm afraid you have some misunderstanding about the word good." He didn't answer Sarutobi Hiruzen, but welcomed him into the internet cafe, and then pointed to the empty internet cafe. Liang said expressionlessly, "Hokage-sama, do you call this good business?" Sarutobi Hiruzen, who entered the internet cafe, was a little embarrassed. He didn't expect Liang to be so direct. "Don't I have a bit of face in his eyes? I'm the Hokage of Konoha village after all. Don't I want face?" Fortunately, Sarutobi Hiruzen still remembered what he was doing here. He laughed dryly and continued to test Liang. "Liang, you know these kids, Shikamaru, Ino, and Naruto. They have changed a lot recently. Do you know what caused them to change so much?" "Of course I know about their changes." Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little surprised when he heard Liang's reply. He didn't expect Liang to admit it so directly. He thought Liang would ignore him and act crazy. However, since Liang admitted it, things would be easy. "Then, can you tell me the reason?" "Of course." In fact, before Sarutobi Hiruzen came, Liang had already expected something like this to happen today. So he also envisioned many options. Is it to refuse to admit it, or to fight to the end, or even to run away and move? The two options of refusing to admit it, and running away, and moving away were the first to be abandoned by Liang. Even if he refuses to admit it, what's the use? Sarutobi Hiruzen is a Hokage. As long as he investigates it carefully, it will not be difficult to find the magic of the internet cafe. As for running away, this internet cafe has been rooted here since its opening. Want to reopen in other villages? This is impossible. So, although there seem to be several ways to choose, in fact, Liang has only one way, that is to fight to the end. No matter whether you are Sarutobi Hiruzen or Senju Hashirama, as long as you enter the internet cafe, their life and death are not under your control. In the internet cafe, Liang is a god. Whoever he wants to die will die, and whoever he wants to live will have difficulty in dying. Since Lord Hokage has doubts, just listening to me will definitely not be clear enough, so if you actually try it, everything will be clear naturally. Oh, how to try? Liang's tactful attitude made Sarutobi Hiruzen very satisfied. He had already thought that, as long as this place did not cause much harm to Konoha, Liang could continue to open his internet cafe here. Of course, if there is anything here that can harm Konoha, then Liang would have no need to exist. The third Hokage is not the kindly grandfather in the original work, but a bloody ninja hero. As long as the harm is not great, he may let it go, but once there is something that can harm Konoha, he will not be soft-hearted. If Hokage wants to try, well, it's 10,000 ryo per hour. Well, it's 10,000 ryo here. You dare to charge money from a Hokage like me? Forget it, I'll just take him to humane destruction later. Liang didn't know about Sarutobi Hiruzen's mental journey, but even if he knew, he wouldn't take it seriously. At most, I won't leave the internet cafe in this life, and see who can survive. It won't be long before Orochimaru comes to Konoha to send warmth. In this sending warmth action, Sarutobi Hiruzen was directly kicked by Orochimaru, and left the world. Then after a while, the 5th Hokage Tsunade will take over. With her personality and the persuasion of Shikamaru and other friends, there should be no problem. Of course, this is just the worst plan. What if things don't develop like that? Anyway, everything is possible. Hokage, please wear this helmet. After collecting the money, Liang led Sarutobi Hiruzen to the computer area and introduced the computer facilities to him. However, when he talked about this virtual helmet, he found that Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression was a little wrong. Do you have to wear this? It's not necessary to wear it, but in order to give you a better experience, it will be better to wear this helmet. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say anything, but stared at Liang. In the internet cafe, Liang is not afraid of him. If you dare to look at me, then I will look at you. For a while, there was a situation where the two of them stared at each other. Perhaps because his eyes were dry from staring, Sarutobi Hiruzen took the lead in avoiding his gaze and said meaningfully, "Well, I hope you won't disappoint me." "Don't worry, Hokage-sama, you will never be disappointed here." Sarutobi Hirozen was talking about you, Liang. But Liang was talking about this place, the internet cafe. The two people's conversation was not on the same channel at all, but the meaning was similar, so we have to say that Chinese is really profound. What? Why do you say that the Naruto world speaks Chinese? Naive, don't you know that Naruto also has a Chinese version? Who said that traveling through the Naruto world can only be in the Japanese version, but Liang happened to be in the Chinese version? That's just his nature. As for why Liang has the ability to travel into the Chinese version, don't ask. The only answer is that the system, author, is awesome. Chapter 25. Danzo is about to take the blame. Isn't the Hokage in the office? After finishing the survival exercise, Kakashi announced that Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura had passed, and then he left the training ground and came to the Hokage's office. He originally wanted to report on the situation of Team 7. After all, the changes in these three people were indeed quite big. But the time he came seemed a bit unfortunate, and the third Hokage was not in the office at all. 20th. Do you know where the Hokage went? I think he went to that internet cafe. The whereabouts of the Hokage should not be revealed to others, but this staff member of the Hokage building was familiar with Kakashi and knew that Kakashi was the Hokage's direct descendant. In addition, the Hokage's destination was in Konoha village, so he thought it would be okay to tell Kakashi. Thank you. After knowing where the Hokage was, Kakashi thanked him and left the Hokage building and walked towards the location of the internet cafe. When looking at the trio's information, it was already shown that the three often went to a store called Internet Cafe, and the information also included the detailed address of the internet cafe. He had originally wanted to take some time to go to the internet cafe, wondering what kind of magic there was that made the trio go there so often. Now, knowing that the Hokage should be there, he could satisfy his curiosity. While Kakashi was on his way, the third Hokage Sarutobi Hirozen had successfully entered the Jinyang Heroes under Liang's deception and had been playing for half an hour. Except for the beginning, when Liang reminded him to go to Nangxianju to open a building. Liang did not remind Sarutobi Hirozen for the rest of the time. With this period of exploration, Sarutobi Hirozen also roughly figured out how to play this game. Combined with the magical martial arts in the game and Naruto's performance that night, Sarutobi Hirozen was very shocked when he thought of a certain possibility. BIU after using the 6 Meridian's divine sword to kill a scum NPC casually, this shock not only did not decrease, but became more and more severe. Similarly, in his heart, the danger level of Liang was also rising rapidly. He just played casually for half an hour and was able to learn a powerful martial art. What about Liang? Liang is the owner of the internet cafe. He has plenty of time and will definitely study this game more deeply. So how strong is Liang? This is exactly why Sarutobi Hirozen is afraid. With such an unstable factor, how can Sarutobi Hirozen feel at ease? Fortunately, he was able to keep his composure and did not end the game immediately. Instead, he continued to play the game and enjoy the fun brought by the game. An hour later, Sarutobi Hirozen successfully got off the plane. After choosing martial arts when getting off the plane, his face looked much better. In reality, you can't use all martial arts. You can only use one martial arts and light skills. Then this kind of martial arts has great limitations. At least, in Sarutobi Hirozen's view, a set of top martial arts practiced to the full level, because of the attack method, can at most be regarded as a special level in the ninja world. Ninjas of this level cannot be said to be weak, but they have obvious shortcomings. Only by making up for these shortcomings can they become real jonin. Can you become a jonin by using martial arts? Sarutobi Hirozen feels that there should be little hope of becoming a jonin by relying on martial arts alone. Firstly, the game uses internal force, but in reality, ninjas use chakra. Playing games cannot increase the amount of chakra, nor can it improve the control of chakra. Secondly, the attacking methods of martial arts are relatively simple. Except for a limited number of martial arts, other martial arts do not have the ability to attack from a distance, and the destructive power of ninjutsu is even more incomparable. With these two obvious shortcomings, it is basically impossible to become a jonin just by relying on martial arts. But to be honest, he would not deny the value of these martial arts. At this moment, he He had already thought about it. If Liang knew what was good for him and stayed in Konoha honestly, then he would not kill Liang. And of course this internet cafe would naturally be handed over to Konoha for operation. If Liang did not know what was good for him and held on to the internet cafe, then he would have to say sorry. Well, let Danzo handle this matter. For the prosperity of Konoha, he should be happy to do so. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen said to Liang with a smile, "This game is really amazing. Powerful martial arts, elegant light skills, but it's a bit of a pity that internal force can't coexist with chakra. But even so, it's amazing enough. Hokage, I'm glad you are satisfied." "Satisfied? I'm very satisfied." Nodding with a smile, Sarutobi Hiruzen changed the subject and asked, "I wonder if you plan to sell this internet cafe, Liang?" Damn, I knew it would be like this. Hearing this, Liang cursed in his heart. He thought Sarutobi Hiruzen would continue to pretend to be a good guy and then do something dirty behind the scenes. After all, Konoha has a super pot king. Anyway, any black pot can be put on Danzo. But he didn't expect that Sarutobi Hiruzen was so impatient, and now he opened his mouth to test it. "Hokage, you are joking. I have no plan to sell this internet cafe at the moment. Is that so? That's a pity." Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head, looking regretful. From other people's perspective, he was regretting that he couldn't buy the internet cafe, but in Liang's opinion, he was regretting that he didn't know what to do. In that case, Liang, when you want to sell this internet cafe, you must come to me first. Don't worry, Hokage-sama. If I don't want to open it, I will definitely come to you first. Okay, I've bothered you for so long. I'll leave first. Hokage-sama, take care. Liang sent Sarutobi Hiruzen to the door and saw Kakashi coming from the alley. Seeing that the third Hokage had already walked out of the internet cafe and was about to leave, Kakashi hurried over to greet him. "Hokage-sama, is it Kakashi? Are you here to play in the internet cafe too?" Play? Kakashi didn't know the function of the internet cafe yet, but when he heard the third Hokage say this, he roughly knew that the internet cafe was used for playing. "I think so. This is not a good place to report." After all, with Liang, an outsider, here, he was embarrassed to say that he came here to satisfy his curiosity, so he replied along with the third Hokage's words. "Well, this internet cafe is very good. You have fun. I'll leave first." At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen had already regarded the internet cafe as his own, and he looked like a master when he spoke. Moreover, Kakashi was his direct descendant, so even if the internet cafe was not his, he would be happy to let Kakashi go there to play as a place that could enhance his strength. After all, the stronger the direct descendant's strength, the stronger the power he could control. Yes, Hokage-sama. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.